This is our most favorite and popular show that we do. It is the staple of this podcast is our tournament talk episode. So
I'm proud of it.
Yeah. Oh, it's our main show, right? It's our main drag. So
it's a good time.
Yeah.
It is.
So here we are today with a lot of love in the room
for sure.
So welcome back. It's good to see your ugly mugs again. And the one ugly, non-ugly mug behind the bar.
Hey, I'm proud
and Carlene, right? Best bartender in the world.
For sure.
We're lucky to have her. So welcome back, my dear.
Get your rum here.
So we're here today with our good friends, Captain Skip Dana, Captain Art Sapp. And this is the Connected by Water podcast presented by Joey Cardi, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and fueled by Papa's PLR Rum. So I am here today, and I just want to make a couple of quick little announcements before we get rolling. I didn't officially welcome you to the show, my friend.
Thank you.
So we have a new producer on the show.
Thank you.
My good and dear friend, Justin Broderick, has been doing a great job transitioning in for the wonderful John Watler. And I want to thank you.
Well, thank you
for all the hard work in transitioning.
I dig your boots, dude.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Definitely digging the boots.
Unlike John, I have a face for radio. So
John is a handsome devil.
I'm going to stay on this side of the camera.
Attaboy.
And also, since this is the tournament talk episode, I do need to set up one announcement of our own. So for the past 10 years that we have been the official artist of the Jimmy Johnson tournament, and now we're transitioning into the Atlantic City tournament coming up in a month and a half. Not even a half. It's in a month.
It's coming fast.
Right? And by the time this airs, it'll be much sooner than that. But not only are we the artist now of the Jimmy Johnson franchise, but we are also the official apparel sponsor, Connected by Water Proper.
Yay.
Congratulations,
awesome.
brother.
So we're very excited about that.
Absolutely.
Very, very excited about that. So it's very happy to be part of that family and growing with them indeed. So that's a win for Connected by Water.
Good stuff, man.
Sure.
Yep. So, gentlemen, last time we were here, I can't remember because we probably got sloppy drunk by the end of it all. And just talking about fishing. So we kind of left off with, I think, the end of the sailfish season wrap-up, right? So
it was very cathartic, too. I enjoyed. I never went back. I never go back to listen to them because I'm afraid of what all I've said. By the end of it, the rum has gone in deep. But I felt very good coming out of that one. I really did.
Well, you had the season of all seasons. I mean, it's nice to really, let loose and talk about it, and finally, because while you're kind of
but we did fail in the end in the jacket. So I mean, yes, it was a phenomenal and amazing season, but there's even in your best times, there's always failures, and I think that was really what talking it through was helped getting through yet another second place in the jacket.
Yep. And this year's a little bit different of a meet season.
For both of us.
For both of you guys. So
this is the first time I've been, I don't want to say boatless, but kind of boatless.
Mm-hmm.
I hopped on and fished with Curtis and Fishman and Mark Miller on Miller's boat for this past one. But I don't know, it's strange to me not organizing and all that stuff,
It's a blessing and a curse, right? I mean, you don't have to do the work, but at the same time,
you don't get to do the work.
Yeah, and you don't get to make the decisions that you kind of get addicted to.
That's it.
Well, you see, that's my speed on tournaments, though, these days especially. It's like if I get invited, I'm like, I want to get invited as the fifth angler. I don't want any responsibility. I'm going to lay back. I'm going to enjoy my day, and maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll catch a couple fish. That's my mode right now.
Well, that's the hardest thing, too, as a guy kind of riding along, whatever, when you've been a guy making decisions, is you don't want to be the guy that's dragging the mood down at all when in your head you're still making those decisions. And don't look at me that way. I'm just a guy holding a rod.
That's
it's
so
such a hard place to fit.
Hard place for you guys for sure. I mean,
I guarantee you, everybody on that boat was looking at Skiff. Well, what's the move? But is it his place to do it in that scenario?
No, we made the right moves. It's funny, like when we were running up there, we stopped off Trump and looked at the water because they had caught a couple tunas there the day before, and like, what do you guys think? We start here, and I'm like, we got to go all the way up, And as soon as we started going, I'm like, all right.
What boat were you on?
I was making time living in water.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nice. With the
39 CV, baby.
Yeah.
Great
yeah.
boat.
That's the one on the new one on
The new one.
Mark
boat.
Miller's new one.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Nice.
As soon as we started making that run a little further north, I'm like, all right, we made the right move, and when we got the bite was on, it was going off. It was a really good kingfish bite.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, nice.
But I think we're getting too far ahead of ourselves. You got to start with.
Well,
the
no,
Bahamas
let's
stuff.
No, we're not. We're
Let's
not
yeah.
going to. I actually want to catch up with Carlene a little bit too before we get rolling. We haven't seen her in a while either. So, how have you been? Everything good?
Everything's good. Still breathing.
Yeah, still breathing.
That's such a
Okay.
wonderful thing.
You're still on the right side of the dirt today.
That's it.
All right.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, good. Good.
No doubt. Well, why not? Let's stick with that. I mean, we're here, and we can work back. It's because there's so much to talk about. But
Well, I mean,
Sure.
with the meat season, there's lots of things going on all over the place, and especially then also we call it meat season, but it's also blue marlin season and white marlin season, and lots of different
and
crazy
glow
things.
marlin season.
Right. So take it away. Talk about your move
Well,
up north.
I want to hear about that because that was the thing. When granted, I had been here. I didn't fish one day in May this year in Florida, which, I mean, my whole life has been May in Florida. I paid my bills in May in Florida paid my alcohol bills in high school and whatever. It was May's amazing in Florida, but so I hadn't done any of that. And then I get back and we fished the ladies fish off a week ago, and then the slam this past weekend.
Yep.
And I'm trying to go through the history of what I've seen over. I'm 47 years old now, and to make the decisions and everything. And the charter fished a couple days between the ladies and the slam, and we caught tunas pretty plentifully right out front, and through Boca. And trying to make that decision, everything I'm hearing about, the kings weren't as big up there as they had been. The fish that the majority of people were seeing, and I hadn't been to Jupiter yet, not since August of last year, to fish. Hearing that, but at the same time, I do some things a little different in Jupiter, fish some little bit different areas, and so trying to make that decision: do you target the tunas and then go scrap out some smaller kings, or what do you do? And it's interesting to hear Skip was clearly thinking kings.
Yeah,
Just fire
because
it up.
I thought the tuna bite had been so good. I thought there was going to be no issue at all coming back and getting a few tunas.
Yeah. No, nor did I. I didn't think tunas would. Well, here's the crazy thing. We pull out the inlet, and I wanted to wait for daylight to really get a good look. So I caught the 615 bridge, and even with my new trip-powered CV, we still cruise at 50 knots. So I wasn't worried about getting up there in time if that was a decision. I come out, and I get to 120 foot of water at the Blue Roof, and by the time I'm at Embassy, I'm in 150 foot of water, and I see two blackfins air out. Oh, my God. So then I pull them back, and I sit there thinking about it for a minute. Do you make the run now because you have time with Jamie's new setup?
Format.
Better word. I got to sit here. I got to sit here and wait for an hour, or I go ahead and run on up and do the Kings thing and try to come back. And the crazy thing, and we talked about it 2 days before, how the current was shifting. It would be north for a little bit and then south for a little bit during the course of the day, maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
Right out front. Like, man, if that happens, what I just saw might not be happening by the time I get back. But I talked myself into running on because I didn't want to lose that time. So I ended up making the same decision clearly Skip had in his mind there, and we ran on up.
And that kingfish bite was good. Nice fish.
Yeah. Y'all saw mostly 15 to 22, 23 pounders, right?
Our biggest fish was 32. We had a 32, a 25, and 2 20s.
There you go.
And we had
And you fished the ledge there, the 120-ish or so.
105.
105.
Yeah,
See,
so
I do it a little different up there. I prefer fewer bites and potentially higher quality bites, and I fish in there in that 80, 85 foot. And it's a flatter bottom, but it's like a lime rock and staghorny kind of low structure bottom. And we caught a 33 and a 20 and didn't have nearly the numbers of bites, but we saw again, much like in the ladies too, we saw one that was so goddamn big. It was mind-blowing.
Really?
Yeah, mind-blowing.
In the ladies?
No, well, that one too, yes. And Jimmy's sitting and busting my balls saying it's the same damn fish following us around. We still ain't caught it. But, yeah, this thing was so big. It was as big around as anything I've ever seen in the ocean, and it was a kingfish. I mean, it was so big, and it just didn't work out, unfortunately. And we saw a few others. But so guys were talking about all these bites that we're seeing. Well, I think maybe we had 25 kingfish bites, maybe, as compared to guys trying to run out of bait on kingfish just offshore of us.
Yeah,
They
we
kept saying, "What are you doing in there?"
we burned out a lot
Really?
of bait. Yeah.
Yeah.
This I heard it was tough to get over 100 pounds for most people in this one this past weekend.
So we had 4 kings for 97.
Mm-hmm.
You had 120
No, we had 107
total.
107, but yeah, with the
But you had a wahoo.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm looking, just in case you know what I'm trying to do right now, I'm looking for the dank leaderboard right now and how that tournament ended up. But
It was 150.
158.
yeah, so
158,
just
157,
shout out to the young guns for taking the tournament this
And
past
Bryce
weekend, and
still on fire at
Yeah.
and Bryce
157.
Bryce ended up in second. It's great.
155 for Gator
For
1.
third.
For third.
Yep.
And then it stepped down to
Gator
like
one
20.
Gator one took the money
Big
prize.
fish.
Yeah.
38
Big
pounds.
fish.
Yeah. Yep.
Caught it literally.
But that's the thing.
I saw
that's
him gasping
interesting.
from here to the building across the street away.
Yeah. That's
Really?
the interesting thing. A 38-pounder
It's not
isn't
really
that
big. Yeah.
I mean, it's a very nice fish, but to be the big fish of the tournament's interesting. And I'd love to know how many people saw legit big ones. Like a legit big one's 45-plus pounds. And
Yeah.
and we only saw one like that, but we did see it. And I'm wondering how many other boats saw them and if they were there or not, and just not biting or what, they're not in the right place or what the case was. But
Yeah, we didn't see a big one. I think we had another one on the triple hook sardine that was probably 30-ish, 30 plus that we ended up parting off.
How do you like the new boat?
love it.
So take me through that one a little bit.
I didn't even think we were going to talk about that. But so here's the deal. The quad boat, the way the boat runs is amazing, and its responsiveness, and it's more like a sports car feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have done it had I not been a charter fisherman. I love charter fishing, and it's a big part of how we make a living. And when I went on my QuickBooks deal, I was spending close to $7,000 a year maintaining each motor. So
$7,000.
Yeah, I take one motor away,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to do it right because I can't break down, and I never have.
Right.
Never once. And I truly believe with modern motors, especially Mercury's because they're the best motors on the market, that if you maintain them, they won't break. And I'm 20 years in, and
Mm-hmm.
and I've had, when I was a little younger, a little dumber, a little harder on stuff, one tournament where I couldn't get back to the dock on all my power. I played it and was able to get back in time, but it cost me half a day of fishing. But anyway, since that day, I have maintained the hell out of my stuff, and I've never broken down, never not been able to get back to the dock. A lot of that's Mercury, a portion of that's maintaining them. So, whatever. So I spend a lot of money on maintenance. Drop it to 3 motors, save a little bit of money. It's several mortgage payments. I'm happier, and the boat performs amazing. It doesn't jump on plane as quickly, and yet to be seen how we move on sailfish, which is obviously very important. But I believe from everything I'm doing with it, it's gonna perform because the motors are with the quads, the outside motors, when you're really spinning and turning hard, the boat's gonna lay over and you start to bark the outside motor if you're really pushing it hard on a fish, where it's not as likely with trips. So perhaps I keep as many props in the water. Speculating, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, I'm loving it. And
Yeah,
Gray
yeah.
Marine blew the electronic system out. It's ridiculous. Some of the things it's saying. So you push the autopilot and it says go active, don't go active.
Mm-hmm.
And well, what the hell does that mean? Go active, and it fires up the FLIR real-time camera, not the infrared, a dual radar system, and away she goes. And I started playing with it in the intercoastal a little bit, and it starts flashing a red little beacon on you. Something's in your way, and it turns the boat. Oh, shit, okay. So see what happens, and as we come around the curve in the intercoastal, seawall, another boat, and the damn boat is driving itself like a Tesla.
Down the ditch?
Down the ditch.
Really?
It was the
That's
damnedest thing.
Now, is it
Wow.
doing that with radar or AIS?
Dual radar, AIS, and the FLIR camera, all tied together. It was ridiculous. But
That's insane.
That new FLIR is unbelievable.
unbelievable.
The true color one.
Yep.
Unreal.
So you're both with new boats here.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the new program?
No,
Are we at liberty to?
Jimmy's calling.
How about that?
Yeah, we can talk about it. So we got rid of the Hydrosport, and Joey got a 72 Merit that we are in the process of refitting a little bit, doing some work on, and it should be in the water within a week.
Nice.
So exciting.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
it's awesome.
dude.
And
That's-
it's beautiful.
that's
It's a
cool.
beautiful. It's a beautiful boat. 72,
Sweet.
huge, massive.
Massive.
Yeah, awesome.
So much maintenance.
So what's
And
what's
it's-
the?
but-
I'm
but
gonna ask
For
though,
me,
like,
it's a
what's the
proven fish
mindset?
raiser, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy. So
Yeah.
What's the mindset of going from center console to the sport fish? I mean,
Art could speak to this a little bit. It's a totally different animal. I think
Mhm.
you fish a little bit differently. You move on fish differently. But once you're set in fishing, it's kind of the same thing. It's just how you move on fish and
You don't have to shit in a bucket anymore.
true. Yeah, but we had an air conditioned salon on the Hydrosport that actually, when you sat, it actually blew air conditioning right up your butthole. So it was awesome.
Oh dear God.
that's good.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
But the toilet seat was always ice cold.
It's a fine bucket.
that is a fine bucket.
But no, it remains to be seen. I mean, I've fished sport fish quite a bit, and a lot of the guys that we found on our team have fished it. But Joey's done a little bit, and a lot of the guys haven't done as much. So it's going to be a learning curve for us for sure.
And speaking from experience, it takes your anglers a few minutes to
Yeah.
get it worked out, and even the thought process of when you're running it, you don't have the option to just get to the bow. Well, it
doesn't
takes a
work
little
like
time
that.
and a little bit of effort, and it doesn't happen as quickly. So
So that's kind of like my segue transition into you just fished that boat over there in the Bahamas, and
Yep.
we have some tournaments over in the Bahamas to
58
discuss,
Merit.
right? So
And-
you exactly the 58
that's
Merit.
the thing.
You just
that's-
drove over there.
Yeah, and I think Skip's going to get the opportunity to do it quite a bit more too with the trolling aspect. The Merits, dude, the water is so clean behind them.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous. You see everything, and we did. We got to fish both of Skip Smith's, or I say, all three of them, in the custom production. Well, the first was the custom, then the custom production, and then Walker's Key. And dude, Walker's, that was
How was it
phenomenal.
being over there?
Phenomenal. It's
I mean,
so
that-
cool.
that-
There's
I mean,
nothing
that-
on the island yet other than a runway. In
It's
the
kind of a
marina.
historic moment
Oh,
that you were able to go over there and fish
Oh,
that tournament.
And the dude that bought the place is one of the truly is one of the most interesting people in the world. The stuff that he
Like
does.
Carl Allen?
Carl Allen.
yeah,
Yeah, he's a treasure hunter and a pilot and an adventurist and a thrill seeker. And I mean,
He
he
just
does
sounds like
it
a
all.
cool dude.
yeah.
An amazing guy.
Nice.
And he
Sounds like someone we should bring on the podcast.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
bet he would. I bet he would.
That'd be
He's
great.
got a lot to talk about too, because he literally found a treasure over there. He can say what he wants. It was in White Sands. They zoomed up a little bit with a helicopter or whatever on their site, their whatever treasure site, whatever you want to call it. Like, oh shit, I know where that is.
There's only one White Sands, and
Yeah.
it's hard to miss.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's amazing. The guy was amazing, and to be in Walker's for the first tournament in I guess 18 years was so special. And the fishing's amazing there.
So they're running that operation on generator, right?
Yes, I think I
At
got
the
no
moment,
choice there.
right?
Well,
I-
even before it was all generator.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
There's
know
no
that.
building there yet.
Well, I meant. Well, I guess temporary generator, isn't it? Or are
Well,
they
but I
are
think
they
they're
fully
getting set up.
operational?
I think there's.
No,
Are they?
Before
I don't
even-
know. I'm asking.
I spent a lot of time on Walkers when we used to run the Hell and S trips over there, and at about 3/4 of the way down the runway, there's this big power house. It's just your big generators, you know. There used to be a big marine. There was a marine facility there, like they raised turtles and all kinds of stuff. But that was right next to the power plant place. It's
He's got-
all
Yeah,
diesel
nice.
generators.
Yeah, he's got big plans, and it's, he's not looking to make money off the deal he's saying. He's just looking to bring it back to, and I don't think he needs to, but bring it back to a historic and cool place to go visit and go fishing.
It's one
Truly
of those
just a
stories
fishing
about
island.
making things right in the world again.
It is
kind
yes.
of moment. Yeah,
Yes, and I'm
that's
so
great.
pleased that he's doing it.
So, and then you also fished over there at the Abaco Beach Resort,
Yes.
which we all know well.
Yeah.
And,
And
and
Skip puts on-
Skip. That was you took the words right out of my mouth.
Amazing events,
Yeah.
dude. One of the coolest aspects, and he brought it up in a discussion we were having, and it dawned on me at that very moment that this is the best part of it. Everybody's in the same arena, the entire fleet,
Yep.
the camaraderie and the just chatting it up, and the dock is loaded rigging baits every dock, every evening.
It's such a special place.
and
it
you're
really
cooking
is.
together and eating together, and
Yeah.
and I made some amazing friends there. And dude, there's this thing called a fire disc.
Mhm.
It makes cooking
Oh, yeah.
fun on the docks. It makes it
Yep.
so fun. I did
Yep.
some amazing stuff, and so did Alex Hausman. There, he made a steak and cheese deal one night that was amazing with this fire disc. It was a blast. It was an amazing
Yeah,
time.
just from being the artist of a few events over there, I've been there quite a few times, and it really is great. And I can speak to what you're saying about that whole everyone's at the same place. And just also a special shout out to Kevy over there that runs the place, and she does such a great job.
Yep.
You bringing all that in and getting all that organized, and still our hearts go out to the people of Marsh Harbor. Because I know there's
They're
still a
coming
lot of
along.
recovery to do, but they're coming along. But there's still a lot still to be done. So
lots.
keep them in your thoughts and prayers, and also keep your wallets. Remind
That's
them
it.
if anybody needs money, it's people over there.
So do we want to talk about the fishing?
I do.
All right. So I sucked,
Okay.
but we saw so much cool stuff, and I went into the thing. Yeah, I've got some experience, primarily small boat, blue marlin fishing, and white marlin fishing, bill fishing, whatever, trolling, quite a bit. And everywhere I've gone in my small boat doing it, you get back to the marina, and if we're not the high hook, we were damn close every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I got expectations, right? And in pre-fishing, whatever the hell they are, we're calling them white marlin because that's what most people want to call them. But there's a few of the guys who are
The
calling
round
them.
scales and all that.
Yeah, maybe they're with
The hatchets.
This unbelievably beautiful, clean blue water that you fish in the Bahamas, and these things light up like neon lights. So we were calling them glow marlin, and for the rest of my life, that's what we're going to call them. Because, dude, you'd see them coming from hundreds of yards off. There'd be nothing there, and all of a sudden somebody flipped the switch, and this light bulb turns on, and here he comes. And 2 or 3 of them at a time, and
Those bars start firing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
fins
beautiful.
lit up, dude, everything. And even the blue marlin did light up like that, too, but not quite the same. I mean, it's ridiculous. So pre-fishing, we're seeing some of this, and we're seeing some blue ones, and Cooper caught his first. So 2 minutes into pre-fishing, maybe 20 minutes into pre-fishing, we get one up on the left teaser, a blue one, small blue ones. Oh, perfect. Cooper's going to catch his first one here. Crashes left teaser. It comes in. We're not really prepared. Fish fades and ends up eating his lure on the left rigger, and he's on it for 20 minutes and comes off. God damn. And Coop was strapped in and doing his thing, and it was awesome, but didn't work out. So I want to hunt around a little bit, and I'm trolling down towards Little Harbor, and we catch some real nice dolphin, and Nicole caught like a 35-pounder, which was real cool, and some 20-pounders, and the trip's going well, and we get down there to Little Harbor, and another fish up on the left teaser, small fish, perfect, maybe 110, 120-pounder, tease him in, pre-fishing here, not tournament fishing, but whatever, and Jimmy pitches a fish out of gear, whatever, hands it to Coop, he engages, tight, strapped in, here we go, and 25 minutes later, Coop catches his first blue marlin. So the trip's starting off phenomenal.
Right.
But in that, you're paying attention to what everybody else is seeing and where the activity is, and a lot of it's white marlin. Got some experience white marlin fishing in the mid-Atlantic. So we go light. And a couple of the guys were telling me this is a mistake. There's a lot of blue ones out here. Well, I've seen a small blue one so far. And I go light on my shorts, and I go lighter than I should on the riggers. But as per my custom, I've got specific rods for specific jobs. And they look comparable, but they're marked, and I'm feeling like we can work through this. Whatever, you can go to the big pitch or the small pitch, depending on what I'm yelling. And first day of the tournament, trolling around till noon, we ain't seen shit yet. We've been seeing some fish pre-fishing, but we'll hook a barracuda on the right flat, and I just throw it out of gear. I see what it is. We know what it is. Throw it out of gear real quick, and Mike's lamb's horsing the thing in, and it's, of course, one of the Bahamas giant barracudas, and it's being a pain in the balls. And I pulled the right teaser down to get it out of the way so that we can horse that side down. Left teaser's laying out there, big green squid chain mackerel teaser, and according to my eye, you see it coming, look over, and a brilliantly lit up school bus blows out of the water, full air out on that teaser. 400-plus pound giant. And to see the mackerel T-bone in his mouth, and so my first thought is, and it was a mistake, was throw the boat in gear, try to get shit moving again, and I'll tease him up or whatever. I don't know how many times I've been dolphin fishing, had him swimming around a boat eating dolphin. You just pitch him a dead bait right next to the boat, and they eat it. That was the move.
Thank you.
Made a horrible decision in the moment, clutched in, pulling, and he takes a few minutes for an 80,000-pound boat to get moving again, and I'm teasing him in. He gets to the boat, and poof, the sound's and gone. Oh, shit.
That's one of those
Dude,
center console to sportfish moments, too, right?
A little bit.
a
More than anything,
learning
it's not experienced enough. And maybe
Right.
maybe I stop or I stay stopped. We're totally clutched out. Maybe I stay stopped, and the fish doesn't eat at the back of the boat like I think he probably would have if I'd have stayed clutched out. I think he could have flipped mackerel over, and the thing would have come right over and eaten the damn thing.
Right.
Maybe he wouldn't have. Who knows? Didn't work out. 30 minutes later, trolling around, hook a dolphin, and I stay clutched in on one, kind of looping around on things. Same deal. Fish comes rolling on the left teaser. Clutch the second motor in gear and start teasing him, and he's rolling. He's saying, we got a picture of it. I'll get to you. Steve-O took the picture. It's amazing. The thing is so lit up. Ridiculous.
I think I saw the
You
picture.
probably did.
Yeah.
Put it on social media there. And teases in perfect. Well, Jimmy goes to pitch. I think he was pitching the small pitch first, which I would have preferred to have big. When he gets it in the water and the copper fails on the fish barely touched it, he takes it. So now a fish rolls out and comes up on the right teaser. Tease him right back in again. And Jimmy goes and runs, gets a big pitch. Well, Calabrese had one of our rigger baits in his hand. Fish is 10 feet from the transom. He slaps the thing in the water, and it plows it. Pow! Right there. Well, and this is a 350-pound fish.
Mm-hmm.
Rigger baits, ideally, we wouldn't have been pitching that rig because, again, I went too light. Totally my mistake. 1,000% my mistake. I went way too light on the leader material. But, again, that's kind of my MO, mainly small boat stuff. We move on them better. But, again, my mistake. Horrible decision. We got the fish on there for 30 minutes or so, and it was a good one, and ends up chafing through, and bye-bye. And then a little later in the day, 150-pound blue marlin does a full, like, kingfish air out on the right flat. Like, airs over the thing, bait goes flip-flop, flopping away, and I think he freaked himself out up there in the wash and everything, and that was the one deal, and he went away. So 3 blue marlin bites in a day in the Abacos is legit.
It's pretty good.
That's a good day.
Yeah.
Except for that you want to be able to catch 1 or 2 of them, right? We didn't. And I'm taking total blame on it for having one gone too light in white marlin fishing because the damn things were everywhere going into the tournament. And then there's some guys caught 5 or 6 of them. Never saw one day one. I don't know why.
That's what makes Art such a good fisherman, that he'll admit if there was a mistake made on his end. And he'll continue on, still conquering, but he'll admit when something's wrong. You know?
Right.
That's you have to do that. And that's
Well,
good.
you gotta-
with his background. It's
You have to. That's how you learn.
Yeah, own your mistakes in life in general, right? Own your mistakes because you're going to make them. We're all going to make them, right?
That's right.
Well, I think we kind of you and I had a conversation before the show that speaks to that a little bit. Is when you've fought tooth and nail for everything that you've earned up until this point, and you actually have earned something, you got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
You really, I mean, and that's the truth of the matter. If you can confidently say I screwed up and not blink an eye about it, then that's where you need to be, man.
Yeah, and it's harder when you're younger. There's no doubt. So if you're, I remember in my golf course job, I made a few mistakes and didn't want to own them, and they still haunt me to this day. That those dudes need to know that nobody else on that crew made that mistake. I did, but I didn't own them then because I was childish.
How do we end every show? What do I say?
Hell, I don't know.
There's
Just some religious bullshit, and I don't like it.
This is my church announcements. George Pomeroy calls them my church announcements. Your ego is not your amigo.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
That's right.
Your ego is not your amigo.
Yep. So whatever. So
It's
back
true.
to fishing.
Whatever.
Try
Back
to do
to
right.
fishing.
Just try to do right. But anyway, back to fishing, right?
Where
Yeah, I feel like
were you fishing?
So basically, right out front of the light there, right out front of Elbow Key. That's really the best piece of bottom there is around there. Now, I dearly love down around Little Harbor and Cherokee to the south, but
It's going to insert a joke to the best piece of bottom, but
oh dear
Continue,
God, that
huh?
is good.
Keep it PG.
We're way too late for that.
Is there anything PG about those?
no.
Never. So the best piece of bottom there, and it's crazy. I mean, the point sticks out, and you can fish out to 10, 12,000 feet of water, but it's still influenced by that point that comes out there off of Elbow. And you see it on the charts. I mean, you see the way the whole bank there bends. And there's some guys that know it so well, and there's this little mushroom, it's huge, this mushroom, this kind of point that's on the northern end of the peak, and the bridge, they call it, between it. And I'm learning all this shit as we go here. These guys are, again, in that camaraderie, and you're all together talking about it. And I know what I know from what I've seen getting bites, and it's amazing how it links up to what these guys have been 20 years, playing around over there, how quickly you start to pick up just from dragging your ass around all over the place over there.
Mm-hmm.
So the long and the short of it is 2 days, and I didn't step up until midday on the second day, the leader material, because I was still stubborn as hell and making bad decisions and trying to convince myself, and it still got some work to do there, that we were seeing the quantities of fish, because we were seeing more fish than damn near, especially blue ones, and damn near everybody over there. And how much of it was happened to drive over them. And we're talking about guys with sounders that are, sonars, I should say, that are, and that's technology that's amazing, and I hope to want to get to play with. But anyway, we're seeing a lot of stuff, and I'm wondering how much of it is it we're driving over them, how much is it that they're coming to us because our presentation is so good, because I'm going light, and whatever. So second day, we see 3 more blue ones and 2 white ones, 2 or 3 white ones, and we catch a couple of white ones or something, and still all 3 blue ones. One of them, fish secret bite, just shows up on the left flat, plows into it, we hook him, he goes, jumps, and I don't get the left, again, my fault, I don't get the left teaser down in time, and he mainline jumps across it, and we fight the fish for 30 minutes, ends up parting off in that mainline where it got in that squid chain teaser. But again, it exploded on the bait, but it comes up jumping and got in it. Again, probably experience on my part, or lack thereof, with the trolling game, that I didn't get it out of there quick enough. But it happened so fast, and whatever, failed there.
Well, I'm going to venture to say that probably experience, but I think that your curve of capitalizing on that is going to be shorter than most. Yeah, I would.
Well,
I'd be confident with saying that.
Yeah, well, and that's the crazy thing. Well, my game has always been to get the bites, whatever it takes, get the bites, and then you can't lose a fish you didn't get bit from, right?
Right.
And that's why I'm willing to push the envelope on everything I do on terminal tackle and leader material and everything else. You make it look as pretty as you can, because if you don't get bit, we're spinning our wheels. Our whole show is getting bit.
Yeah. Well, it's like doing a job and not building in a profit margin.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you even doing that job?
Yeah, do it for free.
Yeah, right, exactly. Doing it for free, for nothing.
And show up all the way over here not to see anything.
Yeah.
And,
well, I mean, I want to ask you, too. I mean, with the new boat, are you guys planning on doing any big marlin fishing?
Yeah, the plan is next spring, going over there doing all that. Doing
dude, I'm so sorry.
skips tournaments and stuff.
You got to take a pit stop?
Yeah,
You gotta leave the microphone on, though. That's the rule.
You leave the microphone on in the bathroom.
So, yeah, our plan is right now we're going to do sailfish season. And then sailfish season done, go over do the springtime stuff in the Abacos. Then after that, possibly Mid-Atlantic, Ocean City type stuff. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Have you done a lot of Bahamas tournament fishing
I have not.
in the past? No, I haven't really either. The funny thing is, every time I go over to Abaco, Skip's like, "Hey, you want me to get you on one of the Marlin boats? You get whatever boat you want, go on." And I'm like, "No," because they already got their teams all set, and I'd just be taking a boat ride.
It'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, well, I'll go to the flats and I'll go fish for bonefish.
There you go.
And when the come in like that, so because I'm not really a marlin fisherman, necessarily, but
Yeah, I mean we did the White Marlin Open 2 years ago, and that's really my experience of marlin fishing. We caught a few, and I think we saw a blue marlin while we were up there, but we caught quite a few in the Bahamas when we were running the LNS over there.
yeah,
We just drag lures around. We caught them all the time.
yeah.
It's like we catch them by accident, We catch a wahoo fishing. They'd smoke off the wire lines and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm going to be up in Atlantic City for that tournament, which is going to be cool because then we're going to get to see our good pals at the FFMD.
Yep.
Right. So Paul and the
Talked
gang.
with Paul today.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul and the gang are going to be fishing that one, and I'm going to be able to see them when they're up there. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah.
I'm going to try to get there and see them later in the summer.
Yeah.
That is the plan.
Well, what tournaments are coming up there in the Mid-Atlantic? We got, I don't know the dates of them.
Well, right now the Big Rock's going on.
The Big Rock's now.
And then you've got
well, Jimmy Johnson and the
Hook?
custom
The
boat
Hook.
builders. That one too. The custom boat builders there in North Carolina
Yep.
is late July, and that Hook tournament.
is right after that.
Yeah.
That's
They got
at
the
Ocean
Governor's
City.
Cup stuff coming up like this
South Carolina
weekend.
stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
this weekend,
Yeah.
I think that is coming up, right? Yep.
There's so many events up there, much like here.
So by the time this airs, it'll be past that. But
Yeah, you got the Big Fish Classic, then you've got the White Marlin Open, then you've got
500
the
Mid-Atlantic.
500, the Mid-Atlantic. And
Yeah.
then that's pretty much it.
That's
after that.
That's pretty much the last one, I think, that 500.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's a bunch of small events, those tuna tournaments and stuff, too.
Yeah, they had the Poor Girls.
Yeah.
There's like 2 or 3 that
Yep.
kind of go in conjunction with the White Marlin Open and the.
Yeah. It's a nice little program they got there in Ocean City. And
It's amazing.
and
North
It's
Carolina
so cool.
all the way through
yeah,
New Jersey.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. And it's
Virginia
nice how
Beach is
I
in
think
there.
it's
Yeah.
interesting how it always works out with the seasons of here for sailfish season doesn't conflict with anything else.
Hey,
and
it's a
then
big.
mid-season,
It's just a big.
like,
It's
you
a
know,
big loop, you know.
Yeah,
It keeps
right.
going around.
Big loop. Technically, you could fish everything if you
It'd be hard.
if you really tried, but
It's
It'd
hard.
be really
Yeah.
expensive,
And
too.
Joey's kids loved Ocean City when we were up there a couple
Mm-hmm.
years ago. They're like, as soon as the first time they got on the boat, like, Skip, can we go to Ocean City again? I'm like, not this year, but next year
Yeah.
for sure.
That's
I'm
cool.
dying to get up there. Actually,
Have you ever been?
No, good friend of mine, Pete Goditis, on the Blood Money.
Huh?
It's a caisson
Yep.
boat there, and he keeps inviting me to go up, but
Do
you
it.
know, maybe. Well, I think I got another year.
You got to
here.
get yourself prepared for that ride. It's like 70, 80 mile one way.
Yeah. Well,
Right, yeah.
my point is, I got another next season, next fishing season. I'll be out of the studio more.
Okay.
But the transition of everything that we've had going on, I've been married to this place and just kind of on lockdown, and I'm starting to get cabin fever now at this
Gotcha.
point. So yeah.
Yep.
So we
Shall
got
we
what?
do day 3?
What's that?
Shall we do day 3 of
Yeah.
the first event? The
Yes. So day 3 of the first event, which is
custom shootout.
the custom shootout.
Yep. So I don't know why. Again, I wanted to reset. We stepped up much heavier with all the leader material and everything for day 3. And I wanted to make a total change. And I love Little Harbor and I love Cherokee down there. And we made the run down to you come out North Bar and ran down to Cherokee and started down there. And before Lines End, there's a bunch of commercial dolphin fishermen that fish right there out of Cherokee. And one of them tight with a blue one. See him jumping all over the ocean. Oh, God.
You got our Blue Marlin.
Got bit before us. And that Grand Slam boat likes to fish down there a bunch, too. They were down there. And I think we were the only 2 boats down there to start. Though I did see a couple boats go way offshore out to the east of us there at Cherokee. But we were going to fish the edge. And there's an interesting little point there at Cherokee, too, that sticks out due to the south. And my plan was to work that. Well, I saw that boat get tight over here. And it's funny in that there's a pocket there in Cherokee where the water's kind of dirty and there's always weed. And I think that's why so many of those commercial dolphin fishermen are in there. And so I see that. I leave the point and I kind of start working that way. And, yeah, he tight with a blue one, damn it. And I come looping back. And thank you. I come trolling back to the north in. You taking pictures of my handwork here?
I'm just taking pictures. Just keep going.
I come
I'm
trolling
an
back
artist. I
into-
do shit like
yeah.
that.
In the point there, due north up the point towards Cherokee, where the wall kind of breaks and goes north.
Mm-hmm.
And fish shows up on the right rigger, small one, 120, 130-pound fish. Crashes a few times, blows it out of rigger. Bernard gets tight for a half a second, and comes off. And then he explodes on the high line, get tight for a few minutes there, and comes off. Oh, God. Whatever. It is what it is. So, and at that point, we've been told for the junior angler, all we had to do was catch a mahi, something, and Cooper could be the junior angler potentially for the tournament.
Oh, really?
Yep. Well, shit. All right. Well, got another little area.
That's your
closer.
play.
Yeah. Let's go get
Yeah.
that done real quick, and then so I start working. We catch like a 30-pound mahi working up towards Little Harbor, and there's a little area where Mike Gullah had caught his first blue one there in the little boat a couple years before, just the year before the hurricane, or maybe in the year of the hurricane we were over there. It was just in May. And so I'm going to go fish that area a little bit. And then like I said, we catch that dolphin, a few others, and get there. And we catch a white one pretty quick, a pretty big white one on the left rigger. And unfortunately, we thought we'd had the junior thing wrapped up because we didn't know that it had to be a billfish, not what we were told at the dock there by not Skip, but somebody else. I don't remember who. But anyway, and Rob Degnan catches a white one out of the left rigger, trolling on a little more. And the damnedest thing I've ever seen trolling back inshore towards where we'd caught the white one. And it's funny how often you get bit in the same place that you've been bit for years before, but kind of working back towards that same place where we caught a white one and where I've been bit a couple times before. And Rob and I both see a absolute whale, half breach, probably 200 yards beyond my left long and outside of it a little bit. You see his head and shoulders and dorsal fin come out of the water. Oh, Jesus, so I start my turn trying to work back over there. Clearly, very, very big blue one.
Mm-hmm.
2.5 seconds, he's on that left rigger. Clearly same fish, same giant head and shoulders, bill as big around as a baseball bat, explodes on the left rigger.
Starts horsing away.
When he explodes on it, he gets the leader, the bait goes flop over it, and it's circle hook, and it's a wing and a prayer, and pulls a little dragon, gone.
That'd have been the one.
It was a killfish for sure. And this is Steve and I say we got our big pitch ready or whatever. If this thing goes in the water twice this whole weekend, we're stoked. Went in the water twice on day one, and here on day three, and actually on day two we had a couple of we could have, but on day three, another fish that would have been big pitch fish, but we actually had the leader material and everything was set up to do the fish. It just didn't work out. He missed the bait and so whatever. So it ends up being in that first tournament, 3 blue marlin bites every day and a few white marlin bites on the day 2 and day 3, and we ain't caught a blue marlin yet. So the morale's down.
How you feel? Yeah, so the morale's down a little bit. You think?
Yeah, a little bit. And
how are you feeling at this point? Like, what's
I'm
going
seeing
through
some
your
amazing
head?
shit, and we're getting fish in the spread. So listen, I'm a perpetual optimist, right? We're doing enough to get the fish in the spread. We don't have the sonar deal that I'm hearing these guys and seeing videos of what it's capable of, and feeling like, well, we're still competing with these guys doing that. So I'm cool, right? I mean, we're getting bit. We're seeing some fish. And in the end, we had another one tease in. Didn't work out. Whatever.
It sounds so
Ate
painful.
2 or 3 baits, or attempted to eat a couple of baits, and whatever. It is what it is. But the teasing of them, and they get so lit up, and it's so cool. And at the end, Mike says, "Well," I said, "Man, that was an expensive education." He says, "Listen, I paid a hell of a lot more for the education I got right now. Whatever. Let's move on, right?" And so we
See,
did.
all right. So listen. All right, I'm gonna pause for a second, okay?
Yep.
It's one of the things I love about you, like really, and it speaks to what she said earlier. I mean, you're sharing a lot of humility here, and it's appreciated. But it really is. It's appreciated. Not only appreciated by me and everyone else in this room, I'm sure a lot of people listening too, right? Because I mean,
Listen,
your
shit
reputation speaks for itself. And you're coming on and you're sharing the good, bad, and the ugly about that trip, and that's good that you're doing that.
I'm sure I'm not the only one. And I, you hear about the stuff on the radio. There's some guys that fought some big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty Nicky fought a jumbo that and again,
How'd they do?
They ended up, and they didn't do well in that one, but they did the custom production. They ended up taking, I think they're 4th or something, had a piece of a daily or something, and
Yeah.
whatever, had a good event. And there was talented fishermen on that boat. But it's a pile of talented fishermen, period, over there for those events.
Over there, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
And everywhere, to be honest with you. If people want to compare it all everywhere you go, listen, if you're competing at the level of these sailfish tournaments here, or those marlin tournaments there, or those marlin tournaments in mid-Atlantic, or in Costa Rica, you're a good fisherman. Everybody on the boat.
Yep.
That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fed up with all this. The best fishermen come from here. Bullshit. They're all good. Everywhere you go. If you're competing at these levels and having any success at all, you're good. That's all there is to it. Don't doubt it. Don't try to compare yourself to everybody else. That's really not the game anyway. The game is competing against that ocean and those critters that swim around out there.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. It's not the right thing.
If you can catch salmon on Lake Ontario, you can figure out how to come out here and catch sailfish. It's like if you can fish, you can fish. Doesn't matter where you're at.
Pretty much.
No doubt about it.
That's really the truth. I mean,
If you're good at it.
yeah,
wherever you
it's-
are.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a passion that goes behind trying to outsmart
If you're technical
fish.
about it, and if you can see patterns, if you
Yeah.
can do stuff, and anybody can catch fish.
An angler is an angler is an angler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, angler and a fisherman are two very different things.
Yes.
And we've talked about this before.
Well, yeah.
You can
well,
turn the
you're
handle,
right. Yeah, I mean,
or
you're
you
getting
can actually
technical on
make
me,
the
but
bite
yeah,
happen.
but yeah.
Well, to me, that's very important.
No, it's
Angler,
important.
Fisherman.
It's important.
Two very different things.
See,
Definitely.
I call that, I akin that to like basketball. You need anglers and fishermen that can get their own shot.
Mhm.
Like somebody can stand there on the 3-point line and have the ball passed to him and shoot, but can you dribble it yourself and stop and shoot? You know what I mean?
Create your own play.
Create your
Yeah, I
own
can't believe
create your own shot.
Yeah.
It's got to happen. What's that?
I can't play basketball. I'm a
I
wrecking
can't
ball.
either, but I'm just saying that's what it's like, though.
We lost in the championship, by the way.
We did.
If we're talking about humility.
Ah.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
So bummed.
What, your kids?
Yeah.
No, that sucks.
Did they take it hard?
I think I took it harder than anyone did.
Probably.
They were like, "Hey, can we go to McDonald's now? Can we get out of
Can
here?"
we get ice cream now? We're gonna go to Larry's and get ice cream. Yeah, sure, whatever you want.
Right.
Anyway.
So again, I mean, granted, I've fished the majority of the events here, and I don't want to just hog all the time, but
I got nothing. So I won't have anything until next year.
Listen, I mean, it's fine. This is a tournament talk episode. You're the only ones fishing tournaments right now.
so from
So
there
talk
we
away.
roll into the Hopetown event.
Before we do that,
Yes.
right? Before we do that, because I mean, it's a little strange.
This is a strange stop.
It's a strange stop, all right? Because we're gonna roll our strange questions in here real quick. Because
Oh, yeah.
my
pause.
problem with the strange questions is a lot of times I ask them way too late in the show, and I want to stop doing that. So we hard stop. We're gonna do our strange questions. So this
very
is our
hard.
Papa's Pilar strange questions, and
Papa's Pilar, speaking of it,
the
may I please?
best part.
Actually, I'm gonna take it.
All right, so you're gonna take your pit stop, right? And we're gonna take our. This is our
You're going to make a peanut butter and jelly
Pilar.
sandwich.
You're gonna make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and he's gonna go. You got leave your mic on for the bathroom. So you ever listen to that Adam Sandler? They're all gonna laugh at you. Maybe with the longest pee. Oh God!
Fitty fitty.
Oh my God!
Agua.
No?
You have to go in there with Skip though to get the water
I
though.
know,
I
I'm
think.
going to wait till actually, you know what? I'm mic'd up. I am going to go in there with
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, do it.
Art, tell me why Merritt is such a clean boat behind
Because
the boat.
Roy Merritt is a
housekeeping.
freaking genius.
Yeah. Wow, I literally hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like that. I could
couldn't tell
picture
you
that in my
why.
head.
I
when
couldn't
you
tell
said-
you why. But what I mean by clean is the wash.
Yeah,
You don't,
sure.
There's not a like I'm trolling around over there, and it works. It doesn't seem to matter as much as to the fish as it does to us, because you trolling around behind a Viking or any of these other boats, and you see this trail of white smoke
Yes.
from ever behind them.
Diesel in
Well,
the
it's
stuff
prop
as well,
wash.
but prop wash mainly. is,
Primarily prop wash, and behind the Merritt, it's just thin
Just
little
clean.
string of barely anything. You mean when you make your turns, you still see your dredge as it comes through the
Wow.
through the prop wash.
I noticed that when you took the boys fishing, when we took the boys
Yeah.
fishing that day, and we were on those all the
Shocking.
reef fish. It was like you could see everything.
Thank you very
behind
much.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, that
Thank you, Carlene.
because I've been, on the back of, sitting on the transom of other things as well, and just made
Yeah.
complete sense when you said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Right.
that's Roy Merritt. And
That's
they're
awesome.
and I
Oh,
talked
so
to him for a few minutes
With the
about
mic.
it. And he kind of winks at you and says it's intentional, and that's about it.
That's
We-
years of trial and error and
Pretty much.
playing with
I gotta
stuff
tell
and
ya,
fixing stuff. And
That was a treat that day, fishing with y'all
Yeah.
on that boat. And the best part about me was just hanging out with Roy all day.
Yeah.
And him and I were
Wow.
just up on the bridge talking or down in the salon and just, having Roy's ear all day and just having just great conversations with him was just
it's an
it was
interesting
just
guy.
magical. He really is. Yeah.
Builds an amazing boat.
Builds one of the most amazing custom boats. But
Yeah.
all he really wants to talk about is catching yellowtails.
Yellowtails.
And his dad used to come down, when he was still up and about and doing really good. He'd come down in the marina 2-3 times a week and see what we were catching. He's like, how's the current? What's the yellowtails biting? And
Yeah.
that's all he wanted to talk about was catching yellowtails.
He likes that hamachi.
Yeah, he does.
All right, Carlene.
Hamachi's those amberjack
Yeah,
yellowtails.
yeah.
from the
We're talking about
Pacific.
yellowtails
From
Napa.
Japan.
Yellowtail
Yeah.
snappers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's hamachi's not yellowtail?
No, not the
No,
same
It's
yellowtail.
California
Oh man,
yellowtail.
well, they've been lying to me the whole
Basically,
time.
you're
It's
eating
an amberjack.
It's an amberjack.
No
It's
wonder
yeah,
it
it's
doesn't taste that
it's a
good.
Japanese amberjack. And they raise them in pins.
Yep.
All right, so is Carlene's mic on there?
Yeah,
Are we ready to roll?
yeah, she's on.
All right,
She's on.
So, all right, so this is Papa's Pilar Strange Questions, and one of my favorite parts about Carlene being in here because I love when she reads the questions more than when I read the questions because they just sound so much better when she.
Me
does
too. I like it
Right?
much better when she reads it.
It. Yeah, thank
Well, I
you,
shouldn't stutter.
Dick.
So
No innuendos from me.
we'll start on a serious note. Art, what do you think that makes a fishing team successful? And both you two, Skip, as well.
Time. The more time you spend together and the more you gel and you know what the guy next to you and the guy next to him is going to do before they do it, and you know that they're going to react correctly when the real shit hits the fan, when things aren't going perfectly but you're in a mess. That's There's no. It's not a mistake that the guys had the season they had this year on our boat, because it was our 4th year together as that group.
Yep.
And prior to that, I measure everything back to what I did with my guys that I grew up with, and a few that we added, as well as my father, who obviously I grew up with. The initial tournament run we were making, I mean, literally words weren't spoken throughout the course of the day. The fluidity and the way the gaffs were always ready, and all that had to be said when a real one showed up was, all right, this is it, hands on, and we never saw a real one air out that we didn't catch. It just, it's going to happen. So it's time, putting the time together and work together, and don't yell at each other.
Screaming does not work.
Nope. It doesn't. Gets people mad. They fight against
Gets
you.
people mad. That's all it does.
You can get it.
No one likes to be yelled at.
No.
It's okay to get excited.
No one likes
get
it.
Woohoo,
Yeah,
don't yell. Don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Nope.
Fish gets off. All right, we'll get the next one. Let's go. You know.
Yep.
Just happens.
Yelling only works for high school football coaches. That's it, man.
It didn't work then for me either. That's one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. Because, and again, I've learned here, especially recently, that psychological issues and the way that you're raised, I'll never get yelled at again.
Yeah.
I'm physically, even at my old age, enough that getting yelled at, and I revert back to when I was getting yelled at and probably about to get whacked as a kid, and then it's a mistake. Don't yell at people, because bad things can happen very quickly. Just don't yell at people.
Should we tell you not to calm down right now?
We're
That was the worst.
We're getting beneath the surface. Of Art Sapp.
But I would say camaraderie is a big thing too. You
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
You can't. I made some sweet peanut butter and jelly sandwiches this weekend.
Uncrustables.
I love those.
No, dude. You got to make Tic Tacs.
Tic Tacs.
You made it with Hawaiian bread?
Oh yeah, dude.
All that sweet and combined, it still's good.
Peanut butter and jelly is so good.
Oh,
Camaraderie.
Yeah, you get camaraderie is good, and you. I don't know. You can't forget to have fun.
Yep, that's yes.
You know, my guy, it's like if they're out there, even if the fishing slow, I'm like, have fun, you know, especially with.
Look where you are.
Especially
realize a moment.
This is where you roll the video of Skip doing air guitar in the cockpit.
With my summertime crew, it's like my brother-in-law Homer. He's a scream. We call it the Homer dance. He's always dancing and having fun. But he brings his own cooler. He's got his own cooler beer. He stuffs it under the gunnel by the back kite. He fishes the aft kite. The first waiter goes in the box. Homer has the beer, and the day's off, and we're good. You know.
Yep.
Which we try.
That was on my boat. Well,
yeah.
Vince's boat when Skip broke into the guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Oh yeah.
I'll never forget that story about the Any Given Sunday speech.
Oh, that's a great.
Yeah.
I wish we had the
dude,
the remake.
Somebody has to have that. Vince might even have that.
No, we'll be able to find it. We'll play it on the next tournament.
No, we have our
Vince
own.
rewrote one.
Oh, you did?
It was.
Well, I'll talk to him
About our friend McDonald.
I'll call him up and I'll get it from him.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Just so you know, that question was from Nicole, Dennis's Employee of the Month, because I didn't mention it prior before that. So thank
She's
you for
Employee of the
Nicole.
Month every month.
That's yes.
Dude, and she's addicted.
Yeah.
She's
She's
just
good.
such a sweet kid and a great family.
Yeah.
She's addicted to fishing.
Yes, she is.
I love it.
Yes, she is.
It gives me hope for my daughter.
By the way, I answered her question because what was the question? It was something, what makes a good fishing team successful? I said catching a lot of fish.
That helps. That
definitely helps.
Yeah.
So on another serious note, if you guys were not boat captains, what would you be? Successfully, that is.
You mean like what would profession be?
Harris Cats, correct.
I would probably be a landscaper because I have a green thumb and I love grass and stuff like that.
I would
a good
probably
answer.
be in California sleeping on the streets and be a phenomenal bum.
There you go.
Tent City.
Yes,
Dude, you got the beard for it.
I do. It's all gray too now. So old.
Well, Weston Clement.
I'd run a podcast.
There you go.
That was Weston's question.
No, that was Harris Cats.
Harris.
So, have you gentlemen ever peed from the tower? And if so, were there any mates in the splash zone?
Oh, yellow jellyfish.
Yes and yes and yes.
Yes and
to
yes?
all of that. Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All right,
Mate, yes.
Let's go. Let's have it. What's the story?
No names.
No names. No names. Go ahead.
One guy yelled, "I think it got in my mouth."
But I don't know if there was any actual physical peeing in the tower. No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, once was.
I haven't gone there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Many times. But and once
Was it
peeing
some
in
of
a
the
can
best
because
piece
I
of
ran
bottom
out of
you've ever
bottles.
seen?
And that was the one I think it got in my mouth. I was peeing in a can, and it squirted.
So Art used to fill up Ziploc bags,
Oh, yeah.
and
Really?
we'd
Yellow
be fishing. It
jellies.
didn't matter if there was fish coming up. All right, there he is, left long. Yellow jellyfish! Bam! Hit the deck. We're like, oh Jesus Christ, man! You know,
Jellyfish.
So
yellow
Will,
jellyfish coming down.
Yellow jellers.
Will, diapers work too, guys. But moving forward, Will from the Miss
Ooh,
Michelle.
diapers! I never thought about that.
Hey man, they hold. Long road trips, going 80 down 75, and you don't have time to pull over. Moving forward,
It all depends.
Oh.
Will from the Miss Michelle fishing team. How many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches does Skip make when going on someone else's boat?
Oh, so this tournament I made 2. So Tic Tac sandwiches. You take a thing of King's Hawaiian rolls, cut them in half, flip them over, peanut butter, jelly, put them back together, and you cut them so you just pull individual sandwiches out. So I made a rack of peanut butter and jelly, and made a rack of ham and cheese.
That's
Have you ever made
genius.
peanut butter and honey?
Yes.
Even more
I
better.
have, yeah.
Even more better.
No better.
So peanut butter and jelly. I only did. So I guess you could say I made 12 sandwiches.
12 in a deal. 12 minis. All right.
And you call those Tic Tacs.
Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now this might be the winning question. Cody Beatty from
Oh, this is a good one.
Preferred
I
Marine.
saw this one.
Okay. Art, is it true that you have 4 pet sailfish that freely roam the waters of South Florida, and upon your request via echolocation, they will show up for a quad to put in the lead?
In the lead.
In the lead, my apologies. Polish.
Why did her mic just go away?
What happened?
It's not just 4.
Testes, 1, 2,
Sometimes
3.
sometimes the 4 initials are tired and don't respond. So you have to have 6 or 8 or 12 or 18 backups.
There you go.
Some days it's like 21 for 23 of them.
Yeah, that's it.
And mostly males in heat.
Yeah.
That's it.
Would you?
That's
Yes.
I thought that was really a genius question. Because I mean, there's got to everyone's just trying to figure out what's with the art sap magic. Come on.
What
now.
about the days that I suck?
What about those days?
They exist too. So
Maybe you were just tired.
Knee pads?
Maybe I was
Oh Jesus.
The innuendos are all coming from the hot chick over there. I have not given one of them.
Are we good? Would you like to continue?
Yep.
Why not? We're here.
So for Ryan Palmer, during tournaments and award ceremonies, how far do you go to take matching wardrobes?
Well, the Surreal team goes hard.
Yeah, they do.
Like we have we have kickoff party outfits, we have like festivity outfits, and then we have award outfits.
Yeah, matching wardrobes is what keeps the lights on in this place.
We used to.
So we
But
go
we
hard
haven't
on
done
the
it in a
Surreal
long time.
team.
We used to do blacks on Sundays or Saturdays, whatever the second day. Blacks
Yes,
on Saturdays.
we would go gray first day, right, and then black Sunday
but
or
I
Saturday,
haven't done
whatever
any
it
of that
was.
in a long, long time. I don't know.
We can't leave Jim the Tuna Slayer DeMarco out of this.
Oh, my boy.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
Jimmy asked a question.
Jimmy, Skip, what is the greatest question ever asked at a bachelorette party?
Oh,
Yes!
here we go.
Yes!
I'm actually going to take the 5th on that.
No, what?
Can I say it?
You were on a show where
It
you
wasn't
must
him.
talk,
You can
sir.
talk about it.
It
Go ahead.
wasn't him. It was somebody else that looked like him.
Okay.
Should I or not?
You tell the story.
Nothing actually happened, but it was the greatest line that has ever been screamed
And
out.
this
a
was
cab
after we
window.
won.
No, we didn't win. We ended up getting. It was our first, second place for the jacket
Was
on the
it?
liquid boat down there in Miami.
Oh, I thought we won that tournament.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Anyway,
So what happened?
Anyway, so, and it's good because it was just a joke, and they were way over there, and this guy was hanging out of a cab window. Is my mic on? There
you're
you go.
good.
Is that better? Sorry. This guy hangs out of a cab window, and there's very clearly bachelorette party, and they got like wieners, straws, and hats, and all kinds
and
of weird shit.
they're going through a list.
Yeah,
Wieners
there's a
and
list.
straws?
There's a list. And
Oh, you mean like wiener
this-
straws?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, the
like whatever,
bachelorette party
party
stuff.
thing. It's
Okay.
very clearly bachelorette party.
Sorry,
There's
I
this
didn't connect
list.
dots there with wieners and straws.
My apologies. There's this list, and this guy like lays all the way out the cab window to where like he's
This
likely
guy
to
that looks
fall
just
out.
like Skip.
No, but it wasn't Skip. It was another guy that looks just
Looks
like
just
him.
like him.
And he yells out,
Where's my peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
"Got fuck a fat guy on that list? 'Cause I'm right here." The greatest.
Justin, when you upload the episode to YouTube, just make sure you press the not for kids button.
Noted.
Dude, who thinks of that?
Him. Or the
No,
guy
it wasn't
that
him. It
the guy
wasn't
that
him.
looks like him.
It wasn't him.
Geniuses.
Genius. I mean, listen, I'm not a terribly intelligent person. I'm not stupid. My wit is nowhere near as quick as these people I surround myself with.
I didn't know y'all hung out with Seinfeld.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's that kind of thinking.
That ended up being one of those nights that
Allegedly.
allegedly it was just there was no response. We were driving by, it didn't matter.
No.
But it was me, Jimmy DeMarco. Somehow we ended up with Uncle Ben in our car, and we went. I still can't explain where we were. We were in this bar on South Beach.
It's called bed.
You go through this hotel, through this like private door to here, and there's this pool. To me at the time, it seemed like it was a mile and a half long, and with a bar on the left. And
Mind you, I'm passed out, like literally broken in half, dead.
And I'm like,
At
I'm
home.
looking at, I'm like, where the hell are we? So we walk around, all of a sudden, boom.
The pool.
No, we're in the bar.
Bed.
Oh, the bar.
Yeah, and then so all of a sudden up pops the fence. Hey, this is our section. We have our own little section. These are our drinks and stuff. We have like the club treatment going on. It was unbelievable.
Yep. Meanwhile, our place we were staying in until that night when they found somebody
that's
to pay
right.
more, and they ran us out of it.
And we ended up at DoubleTree
Yeah, this giant, like upstairs,
penthouse,
30,000 square feet.
and it was the weekend
It was
after.
enormous.
It was the weekend after
30,000 square foot
Yeah.
penthouse.
Enormous.
Something
there was
crazy
a back
like that.
room.
It's a lot of square feet.
There was 10,000 square foot back room. It was like,
It was just
The
mattress.
Hiv room.
It was just mattresses.
yeah, it was horrific. It was
It
scary.
was the craziest thing you've ever seen. It
Oh,
was
this is the club?
no, this is
this
the
is our
the
condo.
hotel or condo
What?
we're staying in. Enormous.
It was the weekend
it was
after
the whole
Ultra.
like 130th floor or whatever. I don't know. It was so far up in the sky.
Was there a Bengal tiger in there?
It could have been. You wouldn't have seen it.
I'm sleeping on the roof, man. I'm taking
Dude,
back.
But did you die?
Dude,
No, fortunately.
there was this giant room back there was covered with nothing but mattresses.
Yeah,
And
some
it was
weird shit
it was
has
the
been down
weekend.
there.
It was the weekend after Ultra, and we're going through
Oh,
this
God.
house.
Talking about fishing.
Did you see like empty bottles of water all over the place?
Water, no, empty
bunch of
bottles of beer, this, that.
Vicks, Vapor
It definitely had not
Slow
been clean,
sticks.
so we just rolled right out of there and didn't go in there.
Wow.
And then we got kicked out, went to the DoubleTree, and the next morning after this alleged event, like me and Jimmy, we got up early. And we got
I
everything
bait
loaded.
fished that morning.
He went bait fishing. We got everything loaded in the truck, saw the bait pens and stuff. I'm like, all right, we got to go check out of the condo. So we're getting all of our stuff out, and I'm like, door's closed. Open the door, and there's Uncle Ben sleeping in the bed. I'm like, holy shit, how'd you get here?
With the Bengal tiger?
I'm like,
He
Ben.
stayed until the
Yeah.
housekeeper came in there and shook him and woke him up.
I'm like, Ben, we're leaving. He's like, blah, 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 blah. He's like, don't talk to me.
I don't know where
That
to
was
go.
one of those epic nights.
Going on to the next question. I think
God,
we
that was so much
answered-
fun.
That was a
we have more
question?
questions? That was a question. That was a
Oh,
question.
my God.
That was a question from
That was
from Jimmy
DeMarco's
DeMarco.
question.
Oh, gee.
Well, it goes back to a good friend of my personal friend of mine, Jason Harrington. Why does Jim Steele hate black olives?
Because they're horrible.
They're so wonderful. I don't get it.
I like black olives.
There's
I
no-
didn't know-
there's no
I
weird
didn't
reason
know
for
if
that?
it had anything to do with the party you guys
Any-
were at, or
any-
No,
you know.
nobody knows for sure.
Nothing.
There you go. That's the answer. And Harrington will know it. Nobody knows for sure. That is a
Knows
Jim
for
Steele
sure,
answer.
Jason, that one's
Very.
It's either nobody knows for sure, it's broken in half. Either one will work.
That's it.
pretty much, and then except with Skip wants to know why it rained all day.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
why,
horrible.
yeah, why it rained all
It
day.
sucked all day.
I was in
Whether
council
everyone's been
meetings all day.
crying about, oh, it's not raining in my pool. And
Council
then
meeting
finally,
all
when it
day.
rains, it pours, right?
It rained.
So, all right. So that was our strange questions. Arlene, thank you
You
very
realize we've gotten through 2 tournaments. We've been here an hour and a half? I don't know.
much. All right. Oh.
Let's keep going. I'm enjoying it. I'll
All
stay
right,
here till
yeah.
midnight.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
I don't
you
care.
know, It's high quality entertainment here, my friends.
Good rum.
No,
Right?
high quality entertainment was at the party that you guys went to, apparently, that we
Dude,
missed.
how many of them were there that year, though? Every tournament, the night was just silly. Or
That
two
was
or three.
that was all Virgus' fault.
Probably. I love that guy.
So we got to pick a winner, which is obvious to me. On which
I-
question was Cody
I
Beatty
think Cody.
about the
Sure.
pet
Preferred
sailfish?
Marine.
Really?
Really? Everyone thinks that's hilarious, but you.
Can we get the call? Can you
I
just
don't
give
like-
it to us one time, maybe?
Huh?
Give us your dolphin call.
Dolphin?
The echolocation, what you used
Your
to call the
echolocation.
sailfish. So we joked that
I pee in the
we're going to make
water.
a T-shirt design that says "The Call of the Wild," and it's going to have Art Sapp there
Like
calling
Ace Ventura,
sailfish.
Ace
Make me
Like
blur
Aqu-
it down.
yes,
like
like
far-
Aquaman?
Call of the Wild,
The
Native
CV.
Son, exactly, or like Ace Ventura.
No, I just pee in the water and they come.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
throwing yellow jellies.
You got to put your essence in the water. Put a little essence in the
That's
water
it.
and they
That's it.
come.
We're going to like that, and
Yellow
you're going to like
jelly.
that, and there's going to be a CV.
Yellow jelly teaser.
Essence. Essence. Put your essence.
Right, you're
out
going to be,
there.
and you're going to be peeing all over everyone in the cockpit.
That was one or two
Skip's
times.
gonna be in the
Skip's like,
background
"Some of it
with
got in my
peanut butter and
mouth."
jelly sandwich.
No, it wasn't
What's
Skip.
that?
It wasn't
We
Skip.
have
It
a
wasn't
peanut butter
Skip.
and jelly sandwich in the
My boy
background.
Chad.
Yeah,
though.
right. Tic Tacs.
Oh, poor bastard.
So, all right. So,
I love that guy.
on to the second tournament. All right. So all right. So let's
Here's the
let's
cool thing.
No, hold on. Let's rewind and recap. Okay. So we discussed Jamie's tournament, right? And you guys did pretty good in that tournament, right?
Yeah.
Well, we dabbled in the JV's tournament.
Yeah, we ended up in 11th with a second place Wahoo and a third place Kingfish, and we had a decent event. And whatever, it wasn't as good as it should have been. I made some bad decisions and some good decisions, and we missed a few. Whatever, it is what it is. It's such a good time. I love those events.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, so but then we kind of are there any other U.S. based tournaments we need to discuss before
Well, we got the ladies. We should
the
definitely
ladies
talk about
fish
the
off. So let's
because
dive
I'm so
into
proud of that one.
Let's dive into the ladies because
Okay.
that is the 35th anniversary of that tournament this year, right? And special shout out from my perspective, Michaela Whitmer did the artwork for that tournament. So I was very proud of the work she did in that
Nice.
one. And also this was the first time you rolled out in your new boat.
Brand new.
Was
We
for
took
that
delivery
tournament, right?
Thursday afternoon.
Mhm.
Brought it home, obviously Thursday, took delivery. And Friday morning, Jimmy and I woke up, well, we got to break this thing in, and we don't have bait, and Bryce and Jimmy and I and all of us, because Bryce is such a good dude, have such a great relationship. Dude, I know you can't be doing well because I came home on Monday from the Bahamas, bait fished Monday, and then the wind starts blowing like a son of a bitch. So I covered Monday, Tuesday in the rough on my goggle eyes for the ladies and a few runners and whatever. And Bryce says, I know you don't have scale bait. No time. Come get some from me. I'm got a camp set up in Palm Beach because of the way new Jamie's
Oh,
new format.
he's got the camp set up there.
Oh yeah, come get some sardines from me if you want. And yes, so we run the 39 up there and break her in, and it was rougher than snot, and the boat did amazing. And the bait well system that my boy Mike over Best Marine Welding.
Z?
It's a Z. Oh yeah, dude, that's
Just
the
asking.
way to go.
Just asking.
That's the way to go. The Z is a better boat. There's scenarios where the traditional boat does well. It's generally at slower speeds, but there's again old technology and there's some dangers to old technology. But anyway, boat did great. Carried the bait back great. Some of it's still alive today. The bait wells that my boy did. That's the system. So I have my system, and then he kind of tweaked it a little bit, unbeknownst to me, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So carrying back in him, we're fishing. End up like they were saying, and everybody goes north.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole, I was pointing Nicole because when I see Nicole, she's standing over there, and Nicole
Oh, okay.
Paul Huss.
Yeah.
Everybody goes north, which is normal in these events.
She's a big Loran girl.
Yeah.
She loves running up to Loran every time.
That's
yeah.
a long way to go. Well,
She
she's seen some cool
just
stuff
loves
there,
it though.
yeah.
That's like her favorite spot.
Yeah. So, not me knowing what I know about the sharks and in the fishery and going through my history and everything, and the water temps, and it told me there's southerly options, and sharks are less likely
Mm-hmm.
down there. While they're unfortunately getting worse down there, so we run down there and fish off just south of Haulover, the diamonds basically through Haulover while we still had current, and had some really good fishing. We caught 6.5 out of 12 tunas, the ladies did. And my daughter, 11 years old, so she's a junior angler now, and her buddy Savannah, they've been fishing this thing together now since Pee-wees, and they've been first and second and mixing with Skip's daughters for second, third, and mixing all around in there for the last few years as Pee-wees, and now they're juniors. So, and my wife has been very fortunate in that event, and we've won it quite a few times, and she's been the top angler quite a few times. But and as Jimmy DeMarco's wife, as they've always fished it together, have done well. But the focus to me a little bit I'd like to see these ladies do well as juniors now.
Mm-hmm.
So Kira's buddy Savannah Nagy is on it. I mean, she's an athlete and she's serious about it. And rods start bending over and she's jumping on them. And she catches 2.5 tunas. Our biggest tuna by far of the day got eaten in half by a shark she was on. And my wife lost one to him, and Jimmy's wife lost a couple to him, which was upsetting and surprising because I thought we would get away with it. But whatever. We had our 4 tunas in there, and Savannah had 2 of them, and a couple of small kings at 12, 15 pounders that Jimmy's wife Melissa caught. And my daughter at like 1 o'clock, I'd made a few moves here and there, and I'd moved up to the Tentacos. My daughter at 1 o'clock says, "Dad, she's got 2. I ain't caught anything." Well, babe, get off the leading post. She's sitting on the leading post partying, hanging out, and enjoying herself very clearly, but wasn't really fishing. She'd caught one little king that wasn't away or whatever through the course of the day. I said, get involved at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when it's pretty well over.
Right.
And so she's now walking around with me a little bit, and I working the stern kite, and Jimmy and we had Curtis Shuttler with us. Curtis was working the bow kite, and Jimmy is a world workhorse running all over the place. And he's up at the bow, and I see the long flat, which is behind me as I'm working the stern kite. Bait's clearly getting nervous. Kira's sitting on the leaning post. Babe, come here. Something's about to happen. And the thing's in a 15-degree rod holder, pretty well locked up because that's how we do it with the ladies. Bends over and whatever happens, happens. And she's standing there, and the thing warps over, just screaming. I don't know what the hell it is. Tentacos, there's so many potentials. And
Hamachi.
It could have been.
Could have been some
Could have been amberjack, but it was a long flat. This was up on the surface, so I felt like it was a chance it was something worth having. She's sitting there, the thing is just screaming, dragging. She's trying to get it out of the rod holder which is dumb. Ladies fish off should not be straight up IGFA.
Right.
You need to be able to help a little bit, especially if you're talking about kids, 11-year-old, 70-pound kid.
Yeah.
And she's battling the thing, and I says, that little blue lever, push it back a little bit, and, don't touch anything. And finally backs off enough, she gets it out of the rod holder, and then I ran that blue lever, and then she's about to go out of the boat. We're fishing because of sharks. We're fishing up at 8 pounds of drag. And I don't even think about it. I'm go back to tending, and she's wandering around with this thing. 20 minutes later, I think it was Jimmy's son, James, says, "Hey, she's getting close." So I grab a gaff, and Jimmy grabs a gaff, and we're, kind of old school the way we used to do it. We're each side, and if the fish gives an opportunity, 8-foot gaffs only in the ladies.
Yep.
And out rolls a 32.5-pound kingfish. 20 minutes, no sharks somehow. So it turns out we end up in second place in the tournament. Bryce wins it, 180 pounds.
So yeah, a lot.
Killed it. We have 144 pounds. Savannah Nagy and her 2 tunas, top junior angler, and my daughter and her 32-pound kingfish, second place junior angler.
Nice.
Stoked.
Great
so
day.
Happy.
Great
really
day.
was, to be honest with you.
No, great day.
Great day.
Yeah.
So stoked. I don't know if it mattered to those 2. Well, it clearly mattered to Savannah. I don't know if it mattered to Kira or not, but it mattered to me. It was great.
So she's like, she didn't care to fish, or like she just wanted.
Loves to be there. Loves to be involved in the people and the activities.
My daughter's like that too.
Don't care. No, don't know if she cares about anything really.
Yeah.
She's an artist. Maybe you probably understand it far better than I do.
I have to say, yeah. I mean, there's fleeting
It's an interesting
artist
mindset.
moments that happen out there, where you just daze out and you start looking at water and how the light's hitting it and everything like that. And then
Very clearly, that's part of her. She'll say something. Look how pretty that is.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Well, the way that looks like that, okay. I don't see shit. I'm still fish, water, current, movement.
Yep.
She's seeing things in this world that, and and I was on a boat one time, and a guy called me Neo or whatever, and he says, and I'm talking about how I'm watching warbirds and mahis moving in the direction, and these are going to be better fish and whatever. And he calls me Neo, and then I hear from an artist's eye
Thank you.
the way that you guys
I'll
see
go.
things.
I'm in.
Yeah.
And
So that's the thing.
I
It's
want
like
to see
that-
it. I want to know what you guys are
Listen,
seeing.
all right, so you're opening the door to me here for a second. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So the thing is this, right? This is why I do it in the first place because, I mean, this been doing it for a long time, right? That's how
they
it
do that?
started when I was a kid, right? You're out front and whatever, and you see things, or you're down in the Keys, and you just remember that moment. You want to recreate it, and then that's how when I went to Gibbons, I mean, I came from the other side of the tracks. You know, I wasn't like those other kids. You know what I mean? But they all had boats, so in order to get on a boat, I'd be like, hey, I'll draw you what we catch if you take me fishing. That's how I started. You know, that's really how I started painting fish in bulk. You know what I mean? That's fishing with Matt White in high school. You know, that's when I met Matt, and I was like, hey, Matt, I'll draw you that sailfish or draw you that mahi. You know what I mean? And then when you're out there and you're like, you remember those moments and you do zone off, and so your priorities are a little out of whack sometimes. You know, when you're trying to remember the moment, you're trying to remember or at least enjoy where you're at. And remember the colors and like the things that you're describing about the white marlins lighting up and the glowfish and all that. You know, an artist takes that back with them like big time, but it really stays here in your heart, and you have to pour it out. You do.
The paint doesn't exist.
What do you mean?
There's
To get
nothing
to
that
get
exists
those
to
colors.
duplicate that color. That color doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
Well, the straight flat color, no, definitely not.
I've never seen anything like it.
The challenge is creating it in light. Right, you don't, and that's the misnomer is that you're gonna just try to duplicate a color. It's not it. There's a combination of colors and layers. Like, hold on a second.
Hey, that hatchet marlin we caught a few years ago in Miami before.
No, that was round scale. No doubt about it. Round
whatever
scale.
that was.
Beautiful.
You
Spectacular.
guys are giving me an opportunity to
That-
explain this. Then.
was
Bring it in.
The
Right,
most electric blue I've
So
ever
if you're
seen in
talking
my life.
about
Everyone over there.
if there's light on.
Yeah,
there.
okay, so
So if you're talking about the wahoo, right, and then you want to really kind of understand how to really get the color in there. Well, that's not just one color. I'm not just going to make it
how
blue,
the fuck do they do
right,
that?
and not make that like
Huh?
whatever color that is, right? So that's that dark side of a wahoo, right? And then you're like, well, how do you make that? Well, it's just like layer upon layer upon layer, thin layer, right? And you're not slapping down paint to
That's
just
not a camera
create
that did
color,
No.
right? You're doing layer after layer after layer because what you're doing is you're trying to recreate light. Because all we are is light,
Energy,
right? All we
right?
are is just the reflection of light. That's all we are. And black is the absence of it, or technically white is the absence of it. Black is all the colors. It makes them the one. That's why it's black. A lot of people don't realize that. People think black is no color, like absence of color. But it's the opposite.
White is no color.
Yeah, exactly. It's the opposite.
But you look at that though, and the white stands out like a gleaming ruby, right? I mean, that's where that attracts the most light.
Right. So it's like layer upon layer upon layer, and that's why it takes so long to create like this. You know what I mean? To create like the light like this. Like there's other ways you could do it quickly and paint faster, and just the white here and blue there, and then you're good. Try to recreate light, but when you're out there, right? You try to like really just memorize light. So it's kind of the point I was getting at. I don't know. Thank you.
I'll never understand that. And you really, really see it in the blue marlin and the dolphin, the amount of light that just
Yeah,
radiates.
right. That's really a lot. That's a lot of light on that one. Yeah. So, but that's and it takes a lot of time to get to that point. To really get it, just like fishing. You know what I mean? It
is time. It's all
takes
about time.
takes time.
What's the saying? How many hours?
The 10,000 hour
10,000
thing.
hours
Yeah.
deal,
To become a master. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. It's just like. And it's not even about. It's just about learning about just the little innuendos, right? To say about feeding your bait or knowing the patterns of when they're going to die or what water is good for them or just how to tie your knots or like you're talking about the marlin and stuff like remembering not to cut your motors down and fire them back up like that. It's just like all those experiences that go through, and it's the same thing with painting. It's like, wow, I know that because when I'm painting, I'm thinking 10 steps ahead. 10 moves ahead. It's like chess,
Yep.
right? I'm thinking like if I do this, it's a cause and effect, right?
I'm trying to get that color.
Yeah. So if I do this now, then I'm kind of screwing myself
Down the road.
in that 10th step from now, right? So that's why I have to make sure that that layer isn't going to conflict with my end goal. But I know it's going to take 10 steps to get there. I know that now. I didn't know that when I started painting. You know what I mean? I know it, like I'm thinking way far. That's why now it's like I can paint a wahoo, and I say like, oh, the wahoo that I painted when I was 17 took me 3 hours, right? Well, that one took me 150. So it's like, okay, why did it take you 150? It's because I know a lot more now.
There's 50 more layers on top of
Right? Yeah, because I know a lot more now.
that 3-hour job.
Yeah. So
Just like fishing.
right,
Like
just
you're
like
always,
fishing.
We're always thinking.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
3,
always
4,
drawing
5 steps
parallels to
ahead.
art and fishing like that. Same thing. Because fishing's an art.
It was really cool though at your grand opening here. Your art teacher from high school. was
Yeah,
here
Kubis. Yeah.
With the picture that you drew in high school, and he had you sign it again here. How
Yeah.
many years later was pretty rad. I met him, and
That's
and
cool.
stuff like
That was a
so
great
neat.
moment. I mean, the cool thing is about that is, Mr. Kubis, I was always closest with him in high school. And he always wanted me, I tell you, he always wanted me to go to Disney. You got to go pee?
So sorry.
That's all right. We'll
Rum
take-
is getting to me.
That's all right.
Start serving
Not to mention the
cranberries.
day.
We'll take a time out. That's all right. So anyway,
Keep talking. Sorry.
he wanted me to work for Disney. It just wasn't in the cards for me. I didn't really want to do that.
Man, you got to feel it, you know.
Yeah. And I went to Ringling, which is like a direct path to Disney. It's like one of those schools that they recruit from.
Really.
Yeah. And yeah, they use that in their sales pitches too. Like, oh yeah, Disney hires from here, and all these kids want to go there. I just did it because it was like the best art school that was closest to home, right? Because I didn't want to go far away for school.
Where is it?
Sarasota.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like one of the top art schools in the country, but it was only 3 hours away. So it was perfect for me. My other choice was Savannah, which was right there in Georgia. It was just another same level of college. But yeah, so he wanted me to go work for Disney, and I never wanted to. And then, but I drew this Mickey Mouse for him.
Black and white.
Yeah, and then black and white, and I gave it to him before I graduated.
That's cool.
So he shows up at the grand opening when we have our grand opening open in the store, and he shows up. He's got it framed. He still had it all these years hanging in this house.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. It was pretty cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So Koob, good guy. He's one of the good ones, man. So. So week before the boat's ready, right?
It'll be close. They painted the transom today. They painted the name today.
It's done.
Well, the paint I think is done,
Okay.
but now they got to put like 6 or 8 coats of clear on it.
Yeah, clear it. Yeah.
That's what takes the time. It's been like a 3-week process for the transom.
Yeah, they got like the same guy over there that does like. It's been doing it forever there. at
He
Barrett,
he
right?
paints them all.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's awesome. So
I'm back.
you got it all over your hands, there.
Soap and fresh water. Wash my hands.
Those little yelly jelly.
No, oh damn! I put
Pissed
no. That's
off
my
the
cup.
tower today, or
I think he
what?
got it in my mouth.
All right. So, before the podcast spins out into Foreverland, right? Let's wrap up the Bahamas here for me.
Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah. I mean, I've got 3 more events in the Bahamas.
Okay. Go through them.
We'll be quick as we can. I'm sure it's getting long. I don't know what time is it. It's 8:30 already.
Yeah. No. We're pushing time, but it's fine.
It's all good.
Talk
All
about
right.
it.
So we'll be quick. The second event was the Hopetown United event. That we won the sailfish event related to it
Right.
in Palm Beach, and we were looking forward to it. It's a 2-day event, and you might want the video from the weather we saw on day one. And we were talking about it. There was several events going on. The Baker's Bay had an event going on at the same time, and it was going to be Friday, Saturday, and initially we thought Hopetown was Thursday, Saturday, which was going to be perfect because when the weather rolls through over there, it's legit.
Yeah, it is.
And on Friday, we had 50 knots of wind out of the west, raining, lightning, booming. I mean, there was guys I'm listening to on the radio talking about, long-time experienced guys talking about, this isn't good. We got to try to get out of here. You can't. You can't see the bow of the boat. You can't get through those little cracks in the Bahamas. You can't run that shallow water. You're stuck. You're in it. Fortunately, 50 off the west, which you got the bank protecting you, so the ocean never got that rough. But, I mean, dude, full whiteout. I'm trolling, and the wind shifts directions, and I'm trying to keep my bow in it, and I know I've got I kind of saw it coming. I had set myself up that I could troll towards the bank for enough time that I wouldn't be up in 20 feet of water or less potentially. But every now and then the wind would shift a little bit, and your teasers and your baits would like almost pass you by as the wind's coming around, blowing your line. It was ridiculous.
You're in a whiteout and you're still trying to fish?
Oh, of course, everybody's gone inside.
Have you met the
But what are you going to do?
the
I mean, what
legend
are you going to do?
of Sapp?
Right?
The lines are already out. So
Yeah.
you just get to
Eating
keep
peanut
driving
butter
around.
jelly sandwiches.
Nobody's going out there to reel that shit in.
Right.
No chance. It was bad. We didn't get bit, unfortunately, or fortunately.
He's out
I
there
don't know.
jumping.
That'd have been fine. But so whatever. But that day I made a bad decision, and I made it. I played it off of. We didn't get a chance to pre-fish that tournament at all, and I played it off of what I saw on the last day of the custom shootout. I went back down to the little harbor in Cherokee. Early on, we had a sailfish up with a bunch of mahis and lots of activity. You get a lot of activity down around Cherokee and Little Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
But, the thought is it's a fool's errand because generally the bite is in that really better bottom up there around the elbow key and around that. But I saw so much activity, I felt like I really wanted to go back down there. We had one sail up and never had another billfish up the whole day, day one. Bad decision on my part. I'll do that every now and then. Everybody will. It is what it is. Day two, same tournament. The weather gets right. That shit went through, and we fish Elbow Key there off of Hopetown, off the light there, and fishing was really slow in those two events. Really, really slow. Other than for, oh my God,
Somebody caught 4 that one day, right?
First day, yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't.
First day?
Guys. Sorry, Lance. I've lost. Yeah, Ben runs his boat for sailfish season. 42 Invincible.
Oh,
Lunatico. There we go. Thank you. Lunatico catches 4 on day one and had a 5th fish up. And meanwhile, I don't know, maybe 2 other blue marlin caught in the tournament. And these guys catch 4 and had another one up. But phenomenal job, Corey runs the boat. Well, they have a transmission issue after that. I headed out on day 2 and kind of shuts them down. Well, day 2, we end up seeing 3 more fish. Cooper catches another blue one, his second blue marlin of his life.
Nice.
Top junior angler. And
Rocks, dude.
what's that?
That kid rocks. I saw
Rocks.
pictures.
He's such
Yeah.
an energetic little dude.
Friends of
Yeah,
Michael Amherst
great little
swing,
dude.
saw photos, he rocks.
Yeah. And it's interesting. He's not like he's a born competitor. He's not a born fisherman. I think he'll get there one day, but put competition on it, that dude's on it.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to play.
Seemed like a natural.
Yep. He's a hell of a tennis player from what I understand too. And I think that's where he really gets his competitive edge from. But so he caught that fish. Perfect little dude. I was conflicted. It was such a cute little like 50, 60-pound blue marlin. The dorsal fin was kind of iridescent, kind of see-through, which you don't see generally. Blue marlins are kind of darker dorsal fin, and the shape was right. And Steve was on the boat, who has seen more blue marlin than most people in the world, fishing the DR so much on the real tight. It says no, 1,000%, no doubt about it, definitely. And we had 2 other blue marlin bites that day. One of them was so I'm fishing daily on day 2. One of them we had a real good one. I made a loop around a boat, bridge boat. Can't think of the name. Sorry, don't know those guys as well as I do these over here. I make a loop around there tight with a good one, and that time of year, they're usually the fish are kind of grouped together, and so I make a troll around the dude, and we get a 180, 200-pound class fish, comes in on the right teaser, teases in good. Whatever happened, I teased him into the dredge, and he kind of faded off the dredge because I'd passed the dredge with the teaser on the way in, and the fish loops around and feeds perfect. Well, we had Bernard and Bernard's son on the boat was helping us out because his boat wasn't fishing.
Oh, Jack was there too?
Yeah, and he had moved the right rigger bait in a little bit and had really done the perfect move on the fish. And the fish, unbelievable, beautiful bite. Perfect feed. Hooks a fish, hook and hand tournament. No, we weren't fishing professional anglers. We were handing to, and he handed to his dad. Fights a fish for 20 minutes. Fish jumps a whole bunch, goes nuts. Everything's great. Goes deep, and he's pumping on the fish. Comes up, jumps a few times right at us, and spits it. Fucking more of this. Heartbreaker. But we'd already caught one. That second one would have won us the daily and put us in second place in the tournament. But I'm thinking, as this is really where I do my thing, is putting the percentages on what's going to make us most successful. I go catch a sailfish, wins us a daily, puts us in probably third place for the tournament. Catch 2 sailfish, second place for the tournament, definitely win the daily. So I make a move, start trolling back inshore, and it's not, it gets so deep so fast, it's not far. Working my way inshore, and we're fishing this shotgun, this little lure that Steve loves dearly, and damn sure got a pile of bites. This, whatever the hell it is, I don't know, who cares. Highline, and we're on our way in, and a blue one explodes on the thing. Well, something snafus.
Is it a small lure or a big lure?
Small lure. It's a little tiny lure, yeah.
Like a little islander?
No, it's something specific these guys are using. They use it in the Pacific a bunch, and it's been real successful. And it was. I mean, it got a pile of bites for us. We caught a few white ones on the sails and had a pile of blue ones. We never caught one blue one on it. Well, this thing somehow gets wrapped up in the high line in the center rigger clip. I'm watching the rigger come down. I see the fish roll over on the bait. Know what it is on the lure. Rigger's coming down, like bending down, like so shit, something's seriously wrong, and kapow, and the fish goes jumping off, parts off up there. Gets hung up in the clip.
Take your lure with them?
Everything. In 250 feet of line, away they go.
Ugh.
So, again, 3 blue marlin bites.
There goes our daily.
Well, we got a second place daily, and we got a top junior angler in the deal for Cooper, which he was really pumped about. Mm-hmm. And so was I. I mean, whatever. Success is success. It was great.
No, that's awesome.
Yep.
It's nice that it's pretty cool that Cooper got that experience to go over there and convert on fish and place in the tournaments like that.
Very, very fortunate young man.
Yeah.
And dude,
awesome.
he, and again, the camaraderie of being in the marina, there isn't a boat that fished in the Bahamas that doesn't know Cooper Lamb from him riding his bike all amongst them and the insanity that was. So it's
nice.
Like you say, very fortunate to get to experience all that.
Yep.
So you're going from Hopetown to where after that?
So Hopetown, then we go into the custom production shootout, and fishing. We're on the backside of the moon now, and fishing has backed off badly at this point, and that really, from my understanding, I don't want to make excuses, and it's going to sound like I am any which way I do it, but the guys that had the sonars were putting time in on fish they marked for a long time, and that one was all about sonar fish, from my understanding. And perhaps I'm making excuses, but that was what I was told by the guys that were successful.
When they mark them, they follow them for hours until they finally bait.
Yeah. Usually.
Take me through that a little bit, for because not everyone understands that process.
It's a radar underwater.
It's
a radar underwater,
yeah,
but you say marking them for hours kind of thing.
Well, they'll mark them, and they'll make the turn on them. And I saw a video.
They just follow the mark.
Yeah, they chase the fish. But I saw a video from Marlin Darling. I'm doing well, thank you, though. I saw Chris showed me a video, and it was down in the DR where he shows at 1,800 feet a mark of 5 fish. 5. Yep. And then he's videoing, and he shows, all right, there they are on the bottom machine shooting straight down, and then they turn around, and there they are in the spread. And I caught all 5 of them.
Wow.
5 blue marlin.
Yep.
Wow.
I've caught 1 triple header blue marlin in my entire existence, and I thought it was the amazing thing in the world. This dude catches 5 of them off of a mark. He marked 1,800 feet out and called it. Here they come. All right, they're under us now. Turn around. Up there they are in the spread.
That is insane.
Insane. So, yes, there's something to that sonar deal. And apparently that final one. And we caught, day one we were 2 for, it was day one. We were 2 for 2 on sails. And again, you're catching sails in 10, 12,000 feet of water, which is an odd thing. And there's these tiny little sails. And there was a few blue ones caught, mostly on the, like I said, on the sonar fish. It was slow. Fishing was tough on that last one, that production shootout.
I remember watching live scoring. It was like nothing. It was like nothing ever changed from the start of the day.
Yeah. Wow.
It was tough. And on the last
Who
day,
ended up winning that?
I don't know these guys well enough, and I feel like
What's that?
And I'm embarrassed by the fact that I
sonar,
don't, because the who won. Again, they deserve all the credit in the world for having done so, and I'm dissing them by not knowing their names and being able to read it out. But that wasn't what I was there for at that point. At that point,
right.
I was learning and trying to be successful enough and show a good enough time to the people there, to Mike and the guys on the boat and Bernard and Jay. I had shifted my vision of what was success at that point in those events. So I should, I'm not able here now to pay enough homage to the guys that were successful because it's highly competitive. I mean, some of the names that are
It's
over
kind
there.
of a different game too, right? I mean,
Oh, no, everything's different, but it's still the same. It's still fishing. I mean, I'll put the bites in what we saw up against anybody that was doing it over there. But I don't know them personally. I know the guys that I fish against over here personally,
Right.
so I can rattle off who did what.
Hmm?
Beg your pardon?
The leaderboard for the custom production?
yeah. You want
Yep.
to rattle that
Well,
off?
the custom was the last one. The custom shootout was the last
Miss
one.
Victoria, or is that?
Yeah, they killed it. That was Miss Victoria. It was a Viking boat that killed it. I mean, every decision, and I watched him make his decisions. You're kind of fishing close together, and I was literally making the same decisions, and he was getting chewed down and capitalizing on them. Because
Right.
look, he's tired of getting over there on that Viking boat. But, hey, anyway, yes, it was fun to watch. It was a very good learning experience for me.
So you segue from the custom production over to Walker's, then, right?
Well, exactly. Well, no,
Right.
custom was the last one. Custom production was the first one. Hopetown custom, and the last day I made a decision just to get away from the crowd. Ran way down south, and I found an interesting piece of bottom south of Cherokee, quite a ways south of Cherokee, that we caught some yellowfins and a sail and so a bunch of mahis, and it was cool fishing, but didn't have any blue marlin bites. And again, bad decision, good decision. It was a good learning experience, costly
right.
to
Well,
the
I mean,
people that are paying for it, but
Listen,
it
it's-
weighs into your mind.
Yeah, but you know what?
But at the end of the day,
Marlin fishing
You're all
isn't a
learning
poor
together.
man's sport,
you know,
No doubt.
right?
Yeah.
Marlin fishing is not a poor man's sport by any stretch of the means, right?
No doubt.
And how else are you going to learn how to catch them
Then doing it.
among the best of the best?
Yeah.
Then what? Failing forward? Is it right?
fail forward fast.
Right. Fail forward.
Be fast.
How else are you going to do it, Art?
Yeah, no doubt.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I know it's
it's
there's a
brutal.
lot more to it than that, and I understand
Not
it's
being
not my
successful
wallet.
is
I
brutal.
get that, you know. But seriously, though, I mean,
Well, we turned it around a little bit. We at least
because you're
took
going
a
to
dent
go
in it.
if you now you go to into
We went to Walker's.
2022, right?
Well, no, we went to
I'm
Walker's.
saying, but if you go into 2022, you're going to go there and you're going to be remembering all that.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Well, we went to Walker's, and Walker's was a camp out situation. There's no establishments of any kind there. And like we talked about earlier, Carl Allen's doing amazing work over there, and the life that guy leads it's a book. It's a hell of a story. But so Walker's Key finally has another tournament, 18 years. And again, it's post moon. Prior to the moon, the fishing was epic. Everybody got there early and was fishing before the moon, saw unbelievable numbers. And day one rolls around, and it's going to be flat calm the whole way through, like gorgeous slick glass mirror calm. And the interesting, now this is a piece of dirt that I've got some experience around. You know, be it between wahoo fishing and all the different things we played around as a kid, and just fun fishing over there, and caught quite a few blue ones over there. And I've got a couple little areas that I'm highly intrigued by.
So you're feeling confident going.
Yeah,
into this
of
one.
course. Well, I'm always feeling confident. I'm an
Yeah,
idiot.
this one more so. I know, but this one more so than you.
No.
you're-
But I'm more comfortable. I'm confident going into every one of them.
Oh, all right, semantics.
But I'm more comfortable.
Right, you're more hopeful for this one than the previous ones. Got to be with that kind of commentary.
Okay, I'm going to go with that.
Go with that, please.
We're going to go with that just to make it move along and not sound too terribly arrogant, which is a big fear of mine, the only fear maybe.
Ego's not your Miko.
Yeah, there you go. So day one starts off a little slow for us, trolling around with a few mahis, a few kudu bites. Bites are few and far between for us. And from the radio, it was like 4 blue marlin caught by like 1 o'clock on the deal. But there's one for sure killed, wave paver.
Mm-hmm.
Ends up killing a
Yep.
508.
That was the big one.
Yeah, the 508.
Yeah.
Yep. It was an awesome fish. And
We're seeing that on Facebook
and pretty,
Live.
as it turns out, cool story too, because that's where the dude caught his first blue marlin, wave paver, a guy that's caught more billfish than most human beings alive today.
Yep.
And again, I apologize to the dude that owns the boat and the guy that runs it. as not my world, and I don't know everybody's name as well, but legit superstars in the sport. So they bought a Viking now. Eddie used to run the boat.
Ohana Cabana.
Ohana, thank you. Ohana has had a good day, and they had one they were going to kill and ends up parting them off. And Ray was on the boat with him, Rocher. So I mean, it was a superstar team, and you've had him on the show here, Bluefin Tuna, and Andy Moyes was on.
Oh,
the boat.
Andy? Oh,
yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Andy.
I mean, it was a superstar crew.
Andy's my boy.
Yeah. And again, I'm so bad with names, faces. I'll pick them out in a minute. So I apologize if I leave you out. But so I mean, it's a phenomenal group of human beings you're over there amongst, and we've had a few bites here and there. We had a couple sail bites there early, and they didn't work out. And then they'll lull you to sleep. In every fishery, they'll all lull you to sleep. I've actually, just because Cooper had just caught like a 35-pound mahi, and I'd turned my GoPro on to film some of it because it was cool. It was a pretty fish. Fish comes in, starts shredding my mackerel dredge like no tomorrow. See him coming from 100 yards off, lays over on his side the whole bit. So I see it coming. I turn the video on. We're fighting the fish. Whenever we catch him, it's great. I forget to turn the thing off. And here's a little bit embarrassing. I pride myself on my ability to see movement and changes, and that's everything I do. Watching the GoPro, there's a boil on my left teaser. 6 seconds later, I'm like, you hear me through the GoPro. Fuck, I think I just saw something. I don't know. The GoPro's right above my head. I'm not in through some discussions. I'm very energetic and excitable when something starts happening.
Discussions with yourself?
No, with the crew.
Okay.
Listen, some of your energy kind of gets us scrambling, and we overreact to it. So, and we're learning together, and I appreciate the feedback.
Slow is fast? Fast is smooth?
Calm down, because when you freak out, we all freak out, and bad shit happens in the cockpit.
Smooth is fast?
So, yeah, I'll tell you in a minute. But anyway, so you hear me through this GoPro talking. I know I just saw something, but the fish isn't lit up. But I know I just saw something. That left teaser did not act right just then. There's a bit of because you're fishing kind of bigger teasers. You're strictly blue marlin fishing in walkers. And I know I saw something. You hear me talking. I know I saw something. And then this black image shows up, left teaser. Now I'm attempting to moderate my energy. Left teaser, maybe a little more energetic. It's black. It's definitely a billfish. I don't know. Maybe it's a white one. Now all of a sudden the lights fire up on the fish. Okay, yeah, it's the one we want. And the fish, poof, vanishes. Now Cooper's holding, 10-year-old kid is holding a right rigger, and you see this explosion in the GoPro. Kaboom! Right rigger goes down, and you can't expect more out of a 10-year-old kid. Damn near rips right out of the kid's hand. He engages the reel immediately. Burns drag off. Poof, gone.
Yeah.
As quick as that happens, another
That's not
fish
his fault,
really
but
lit up. No, not at all.
But that, yeah.
And dude, the kid's in it. I mean, he's holding a fucking rigger rod in his hand. He wants to catch. He wants to be the top junior angler. So, which is really cool.
No, it's inspiring.
Yeah.
But,
at the
that's
same
not
time,
his fault. Yeah.
At the same time, and I see that, I'm still looking at that left teaser, and I see that boil over there, and the thing blows out of the rigger clip, and that's going on. Another one explodes on the left rigger again. So,
Different fish?
different fish. Second fish in the spread. Second blue marlin. This one's really lit up. Big boil. I start teasing the fish down. Rigger, the dredge has already come in. Pitch goes in, and the bait doesn't swim right, and the fish boils hard on that bait, but doesn't actually touch it. Doesn't actually eat the thing. So that fish, I'm still hunting it. It's lit up. It's clearly ready to do something. Can't find it. High line goes off. Gone again. Son of a bitch, that goddamn little lure that clearly they love and gets bit, but we can't hook shit with that thing. Misses another one.
Wow.
Yeah, devastating. So that's day one. Well,
Now, is that with a J-hook lure?
J-hook lure. Yeah, all plastic lure. Yeah. And apparently 50% on a lure is good, is normal. Well, shit, we're at 0% on blue marlin on that goddamn thing.
Wow.
But whatever. So that's our 2 blue marlin bites, and like I said, a couple sail bites, and a nice mahi, and not a bad day. I mean, again, the morale's not where we want it to be because we still aren't having the success that we expect. But we're in walkers, and whatever the term is, the ambiance or whatever the is cool.
Right. The pomp and circumstance of it all.
Yeah. And let me tell you about the amount of work that these guys are doing. It's not like the amount of work, the hours that we put in to do our live bait stuff, quadruples plus, probably 10 times the amount of effort that those guys are putting in. But with the dead bait stuff, it's a few hours. That's what you got. Get it done now. So it's in the evening. You get your dredges and your teasers and everything rigged. And frequently in the mornings, you're getting your actual hook baits rigged. So you do some the night before. And I mean, it's a lot of work, and it's just a short period of time, and you're grinding hard. And it's interesting. There's a hierarchy to that world that I don't believe in. To me, we're all in this together. And yeah, granted, I run the boat, and apparently there's something to be thought of that. They don't rig baits. The guys that run the boats don't rig baits. Well, to me, I'm hands-on.
If you want something done right, you want to do it yourself.
Well, and not to say that those guys can't do it right themselves either, but I want to be involved. I want to be doing it. So, whatever.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. It's not my world.
I'm curious. I'm going to investigate that.
Is it a hierarchy, or is it because there's so much more the guy running the boat has to do to keep the boat running? Because those big boats,
a lot of work.
Yeah, I think I think you might be hitting the nail on the head with that one, because there's probably with a bigger boat, there's probably so much more to handle and take care of than
I
there
think
is
you're
with
catering
the
to the
console.
owner and his guests more too as the guy running the boat.
That's part of the more
Yeah,
things
you might
to
be
handle.
doing a little more cooking and making
Yeah.
cocktails and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's part of the more things to handle. Is the people, for sure.
That's her world too. She'd probably know better than I.
Yep.
So, you want to comment on that there, because
Is that the role of the guy?
Well, the thing is, all right. I just had a meeting to end last week with one of the new accounts that we're bringing. It's a current customer with the Singularis. We're also starting to handle all this stuff for their motor yacht. Very big vessel, right? So I go up to Rybovich on Friday, and I step in there, and it's an operation.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they got like 30 employees working on this boat, and they're refitting the whole thing, and like there's blue tape all over the inside of the salon, and it's a hotel, and they got people running all over the place, and I'm just like, man, this is a different world.
Oh yeah.
You know, because when I started doing this, I'm like, okay, I'm doing a couple of shirts for some guys that have a center console, and then you graduate. You graduate, and you
It's
start
different
doing
level
and
stuff.
You start getting in the tournaments, and then you start getting the sportfish boats, and it is a different responsibility handling all this stuff. So the reason I'm bringing this up is like the captains over there with these bigger boats, their level of thought is not maybe rigging baits. Their level of thought is, you got the owner that owns this big financial company that is used to being serviced a certain way, and you got to accommodate to the boss man. Maybe that's a different deal.
Like that, it's more of a management side at that point.
Yep, you are. You're like I don't know. You're almost like a contractor. You're like the GM.
Yeah, right.
And you're more like a concierge too. You're kind of dealing with everything, handling stuff, make sure everything's done. And
That's why we always say here at Connected by Water that we offer a concierge service to our customers. Right? We don't want you going anywhere else. You shouldn't have to go anywhere else, nor do you want to. Right? You want to go to one place and have everything taken care of. Right? So we try to alleviate that. All right, this is my 2-second spiel about our company and what we do. Right? If you're a sportfish captain, you come to us. You're like, okay, the artwork is just one little part of it. Right? Of everything that we do. Like, you make a call. You're like, all right, I need X shirts here. I need this many jackets or this many hoodies, and it's like we're outfitting teams. We're outfitting not only just teams, but we're outfitting these, we call them accounts or properties. It's like, okay, we're going to offer that concierge service. The captains have to deal with that too. Yeah, it's a different ballgame.
For sure.
Yeah.
Not something I'm accustomed to, and I think that's part of it. I'm not saying I was right and wrong in doing what I did. It's just
no, but I think ultimately the mindset that you have about it too is going to serve you well in that space, in the competitive space.
Yep.
And whereas the other guys there might be a space between that's not getting connected.
Yep. So to end this thing, because it could go on forever.
Yeah,
Day 2.
Justin's over there. I see beads of sweat going down Justin's forehead.
Boys
He's like,
gotta go to
man, this is
bed.
like I was chewing up all my memory. We're starting to, yeah.
To be quick, day 2, we have a spectacular fishing day. We had we caught 3 white ones, 2 sails, and had a couple other sail bites, a couple other white ones bites, and never saw a blue one. But the fishing was really good. Some mahis, kudas, all kinds. I mean, the bites were abundant, far more so than almost the entire fleet on day 2. As far as billfish bites goes, even never saw a blue one though, and the blue ones were the ones that counted in that event. But it really kind of kicked us into, okay, we're back in it. We're doing the right things. Granted, we didn't get the blue marlin bite, but we had lots of billfish bites and saw lots of billfish, and fishing was amazing. We had a phenomenal day, and to hear it, the majority of the fleet saw very little again, other than the sonar guys that would, all right, that's the right one, and they'd pound it for hours until they got that bite. But anyway.
I love pounding it for hours. I'm sorry.
Innuendos.
Best bartender on the planet.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So anyway, so that kind of, it gave me the feeling that things were going to work out well on day 2. And the interesting thing about the way those 3-day tournaments go over there, they're set up as many of the Mid-Atlantic billfish tournaments are in multiple days, but day 3 is a double daily.
Double daily?
Double daily. Yep. So it's basically a 4-day tournament, but day 3 is 2 days.
Really?
Yep. And spread goes out, and I've got an idea. I want to work shallow to deep up there up by Matinella, which is kind of where the majority of the billfish were seen. Most of the blue marlins were seen was off of Matinella, which is kind of close to my stomping grounds, as the majority of the time I've spent bill fishing in the Bahamas. And I start working offshore, and there's these weird. The interesting thing about working that area north of Grand Bahama Bank there is the way you get different waters from what they call the Bahama Blue coming around the corner and the Gulf Stream, and little pieces of it will break off and come back and work south and east. And the temperatures change so rapidly, and the blends, and there's a lot of really intricate little details to the water that you can work, and you can see if there's any wind, the way the sea surface wave action is acting in different temperatures of waters, there's different sizes of sea surface activity, and there's so much you can see and work to, and you can work in and out and between it all and whatever. And I really love the way it goes down up there. And early on, we get a good one up. And Steve, whom I believe everything he says about blue marlin size and whatever, calls it a 400 plus pounder, which and well into the killfish, but we're working points over. You get 500 points for a blue marlin. If it ain't more than 500 points, I'm not killing the thing, because I want those 500 points. There's already been a 508 pounder killed, though there is a second place dead fish. Anyway, there's a lot to think about. But we get a 400 pounder plus up on a right teaser, and George and his machine lure was our teaser on that right teaser. Fish teases in well. Calabrese comes in with the big pitch, and he'd made a Panama rig out of a dolphin belly. And, I mean, the perfect feed. Everything's great. And hook the fish, and it puts on a good show for us. And 20 minutes we catch the fish. And it's early in the day. So
Caught the fish.
Caught the fish.
Nice.
Yep, good video. We'll get it to you. And
Panama rig from Calabrese, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Calabrese does some good shit, dude. He's got lots of experience there. And he caught the fish, because you couldn't hook and hand in this one, unfortunately. So that, whatever, Mike was working rigger baits. And
Go breezy.
Yeah, old breezy. And,
Sea breeze.
Yeah. And Cooper's working rigger baits, and Steve was hustling around. And we were shorthanded because we were camping out, right? So it turns out the day progresses, and we catch a white one and saw another one, and it's a great day. And we end up with a second place daily and a pretty decent paycheck. And it doesn't get him what he spent back, but it gets him on his way anyway. And it was a very nice ending to what was a difficult and a very educational and really beautiful Bahama run there, because we saw some shit, dude. Oh my God, we saw some shit.
It's it's a beautiful place.
Oh yeah,
The entire nation, shall we say, it's really a gift from God. The whole place, and
the
what?
I'm not a religious guy.
I know. Flow with me here, Art. Flow with me.
I'm going.
All right.
Just
I'm
feel
going.
it a
Let's
little
go.
bit.
It's
Just feel it.
was just like we're vibing, we're having. All right. Anyway, So I also want to, but I want to do it. My segue to that is that you mentioned the Hopetown tournament, and there's a reason that that exists. So that they're trying to do good things for good causes over there. So I want to give them their shout out, and for all the good things that they're trying to do in the restoration of the Bahamas. That's what I'm getting at, right? Because it is a beautiful place filled with beautiful people that
I
offers
should have
beautiful
taken
things.
pictures. They built a school over there, dude. A legit,
Did they?
Really?
nice, a phenomenal school, Junkanoo party, the whole bit. It
Atlantic
was
Yacht and Ship has a lot to do with that too, and Chris
Yep.
Carroll and them guys.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
good people
nice.
For sure.
So I just want to reiterate once again that the work over there is not done. A lot has been done. Listen, Dorian really wrecked that place. Bad. A lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people got disconnected from families, and a lot of homes were destroyed. A lot of businesses were destroyed. A lot of hopes and dreams were destroyed along with it.
what's
Everything
interesting?
was destroyed.
Hmm?
having been over there a lot since the storm, more probably than most, and a rather communicative type of guy. I talk to them all about it, and I have no problem asking the question, how are you doing? And the majority of them, still got a hole in the roof, but, we're
Resilient.
good. Yeah, we're living. We're good. We're happy. And 99% of them, those, and I don't know, a lot of them, we lost so-and-so, and you feel for them. But I think they like that we're still interested and that we're still talking about it and still trying to help. And I like talking to them about it, as weird as that is, and they seem very happy to talk about it.
Once the
what they went
cameras
through.
leave, right, the money stops.
Yep.
And that's really what I want to kind of. That's the reason I really bring it up now, is because there's like still more work needs to be done. It's like, what choice do they have? Like, you got to suck it up and be resilient. You just got
Well,
to.
you say they like talking about it. It's probably therapeutic too.
Yeah.
For them to talk
Yeah,
about it and
definitely.
get it out.
Definitely. So I just want to shout out to the good organizations like Hopetown United that are still doing a good thing.
Without a doubt.
And putting on that tournament for a
Seneca
good cause.
and Courtney and I'm sure a lot more that are involved. But those are the two that I know that.
And all them guys too, I believe. Is that
Yeah.
the same?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to end it like that. And I want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. Carlene, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful job as always. Justin, thank you so much.
Thanks for pounding it for hours.
Yeah. Thanks for being the best piece of bottom that Art's ever seen. So
You
that's
tried
what
to
you
get
said
me-
earlier, right? Or something like that?
I was talking about bottom that
Oh,
I'm fishing over.
I thought
You said
Mike's going to come in here and just pound me one day.
Puerto Rico
Be like,
right now.
stop
He's been
talking
home
about
40
my
hours.
All right. So, all right, cool. So I'm going to just quickly run through our sponsors. How we do. We close it out every day. If you're in the market for a truck or vehicle, you better be going over to the Joey Cardi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and talk to Dean.
I got to talk to Joey. My lease is up, and I don't know. I'm sure I'm screwing everything up right now.
Dennis, you
When'd
gotta
it do?
talk to Dean.
Probably.
Yeah,
a
you got to
month
talk to
ago.
Dean. No, you got to talk to Dean.
Yeah.
Well, then Dean,
Joey doesn't
help.
want to talk to you. Joey doesn't deal
I
with
want to
it.
talk to Joey.
Go see Dean or Joe. They'll take care of you.
Right. So you go see Joe Wires. He'll help you out.
I want to talk
Okay.
to Joey.
Talk. Well,
Joey's fishing.
stop. All right, and they'll hook you up. All right. Best place on the planet. Service selection, friendly people.
Phenomenal vehicles.
If you're thirsty and you're not working, you want to relax at home,
Maybe we are working. We're still thirsty.
glass of rum. Never hurt anybody.
Little Papa's
All right,
Polar.
little Papa's Pilar. Remind you never to be a spectator. Right? They got their blonde, they got their dark, they got the sherry cask, and they got their Marquesas blends. They're all delicious. They're all wonderful.
Phenomenal.
Right? Keeping the Hemingway spirit alive. Right? If you are offshore and you run out of the inlet and you realize that you do not have an E-Perv on board, do yourself a favor, turn around, come back at the inlet, call our folks at ACR, get yourself an E-Perv. Right? It's going to make the day one day. For all it needs is to happen once.
That's right.
Right? That's it. You only need it once. And the science of survival is what they remind everyone that they are. And then I want to give a shout out to our good buddies at Papa's Raw Bar.
Absolutely.
Right? Go over there, order something off the Connected by Water inspired sushi menu. You can get the Takizi roll, you get the OCD roll, you get the Jumbolicious Wet Dream roll.
Get the surreal roll.
The surreal roll.
I don't have a roll. Damn it.
We're gonna get your roll. I'll talk to Troy.
I
know
roll.
a guy.
I have rolls.
Me too, unfortunately.
Good peanut butter jelly roll. And then Papa Amigos, right? Is another place they got the Takizi Sushi Taco, which is fantastic, right?
And how about congratulations to Dennis Friel Studios for all of CV Boats apparel.
We
I'm
just
so proud
launched
of
our
that.
women's line,
I saw that.
right? We just
Phenomenal.
launched
Nice.
the women's line. It's the D Friel collection, right?
Yep.
And we are very, very excited about that. And I have to say, and I'm trying not to brag about it too much, but
Brag, you got to do it every now and then.
that line is sounding like hotcakes. Like
It's a good look.
It's really doing well. We're very, very excited about the response to that one. So, and I meant that in my post the other day. So,
Yep. That and congratulations on the Jimmy Johnson
Yeah, man.
thank you.
work.
Thank
there.
you,
That's
thank
cool.
you, thank
really
you. There, I have to say, like in all 100% honesty, ever since we moved out to Pompano, that was the move for us.
That helped a lot.
We have
You got
experienced so
into
much
the
love.
community.
Yeah,
You're in it.
we're back home. We're where we need to be. We're where we belong, or where we need to be.
You were connected, but now you're connected by the water.
Right, right.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Good laugh.
Connected
That was
by
great.
the water.
Connected by the water.
Yeah.
Justin's always good for a good pun.
Ed McMahon.
Right? Yeah. Yes, Johnny.
Yes.
So okay,
Gentlemen.
all right, and we got the CV thing. We knocked off all those boxes. Okay. Anything else?
Oh,
Good. Oh, you're
Yes.
all right. So we got a tournament coming up.
My sister's tournament.
Thank God you remember
September 4th.
that. Okay.
Not till September.
September 4th, Labor Day weekend.
Right around the
I
corner.
think
And the
I'll
tournament is
stick
called
The Ohana Salty
Oh.
Classic
Ohana.
for Boys Town.
with that. Connected it all
Right.
to
It is a benefit tournament
For Boys Town.
for Boys Town, the Ohana Salty Classic.
Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
Yep, Labor Day weekend. Right. It's for a good cause, great cause.
They had to reschedule. It is what it is.
Yep.
Sign up, right, and get involved. It is out of Sailfish Marina.
It's for a
up there in Palm
fantastic
Beach.
cause.
It is. It really is. It really
Yeah.
is. Boys Town is a great organization.
Pause for the cause.
Pause for the cause. That's
pause,
right.
Pause for the cause. Here we go. All right, cool. I'm so happy you remembered to say
See?
that.
I remember.
Yes. Yes. Okay, cool.
Yay.
Your ego is not your amigo. Always do your best, and at the end of the day, just remember to let God do the rest. And do not ever forget this most important thing.
Ooh.
Drum roll. No matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we are all.
Connected
Connected by water.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good stuff, guys.